just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense. But it makes
yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guy's Tony Khan, it's true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup. Living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see him back hard, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower, modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah. I am your host, the infallible Phil S.
He had that Cuervo with him the whole time, too.
Here we go. What is happening, guys? It is AEW Dynamite is on. I'm starting the stream a little bit late, just enjoying some family time and stuff like that. And we're going to get into There's not a whole whack of stuff going on in general in the IWC, in the world of pro wrestling as of late, but we've got some stories and we've got some topics and we've got some fun things to talk about, which we are going to do tonight. Make sure you guys hit like, make sure you guys show some support, hit heart, hit retweet, wherever you're watching this. And yeah, make sure you check out patreon.com/pro Wrestle Times. And yeah, sorry to keep you guys waiting. It's just it's been stormy around my way and it's been raining a whole lot, and I was just enjoying some family time, seeing some family had traveled in to town from far away, from across the country. So I got to go have lunch, and then we were just hanging out, playing Wheel of Fortune on Xbox and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just hanging out like a fam. Okay, so that's what we were doing. But duty calls, business calls, and we got to talk about pro wrestling. Now, first and foremost, I want to talk about what I've been seeing here on Dynamite. So Roosh and MJF, they started out by brawling. They started out by brawling a little bit. Hold on. I'm tying Triple H's hands with money. Okay, just more TKO bad fucking Triple H stuff. So they're brawling backstage, whatever. The match starts. Shout out Roosh, by the way. I would love for him to win the title. It's never going to happen, especially not in this match. But Dynamite going to Dynamite, and they saw the shitty ratings or the mid ratings. They're like, it's a boost, 700K, whatever. So they started with a fucking title match, MJF versus Roosh, and it's just kind of cringe, like, just being honest. Like, this should be the main event. They should have brawled earlier, been kept apart all show, but instead it's just, let's start the show with the main event. You might as well turn it off after this. And it's unfortunate that this keeps happening, in AEW land. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, all of that good stuff if you haven't already, as everyone files in. And then patreon.com/pro Wrestle Times. Let's get into, we don't have a lot of anything in anything. This week has been quiet. The IWC has been relatively chill. There's always sickos afoot. I have a great Elbu segment though. Tonight's show, Ibou from Self Made and Dirt Sheet Fails. We're going to make fun of him. We are going to talk about ratings wars. Obviously, we have some WWE news. Actually, something like really funny that has to do with 2K. We're going to talk about WWE 2K and AEW. There's a little bit of stuff. And so let's get into everything. How's chat doing? What's everybody saying? Make fun of Peps Wrestling. I don't know who that is. Hey everybody, what's up? I didn't think Phil did live shows anymore. I'm live all the time. I'm live 3 times a week minimum. That's your high. No. Hi Dom. Okay, everybody's saying hi. Excellent. So round of applause for the PWT universe for
Wrestling's not fake.
And again, I don't have all of my sounds in alphabetical order yet, but a bunch of them are, and we're more organized today. Didn't get them all fixed, but they're all pretty much there. And I was removing some, adding a couple things. So, okay, guys, I'm just babbling and letting people file in. I started a little late. So, how are you all doing? Have you guys watched Spider Noir? Go and watch Spider Noir. It's a great show. It's really, really, really good. Is it like the greatest show of all time? I don't know. But is it really cool to see Nick Cage as fucking Spider-Man? Yeah. It's pretty sweet. I haven't seen Obsession yet. I want to go see that. I'm passing on Mandalorian Grogu. I don't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore, I got to be honest, which is just a travesty. But I want to see Obsession. I just haven't found the time. And I've been busy. So I hope you all have been too. I hope you have good weather. There's lots of storms all over in the States and in Canada. Like, I know it's cold. It's fucking snowstorms in some places, fucking raining like crazy. So hopefully everyone's doing well. And even though there's not too much in these folders tonight, it is going to be an amazing show, I assure you. Oh, yes, and I want to dedicate this show and just give a big shout out to Russ, who's in the PWT community. Everybody, send your best energies to Russ. He he has cancer, okay? And he's like, I had to cancel my membership and shit because I need to pay for it. I was just like, bro, don't even worry about that. We're going to keep you in our thoughts. We're going to send you all of our best fucking energies, and you are going to beat the shit out of this thing.
Let's talk about it.
You're going to beat cancer to oblivion.
Blast your knee to oblivion.
And I hope you're listening out there, okay, buddy? And we have TD Love 420, Smoke 'em Up, has been a member for 26 months. Goddamn, that's a long ass time to be a member of this channel, but I appreciate it so much, dude. And guys, you can gift a membership. There's a new thing on StreamYard where when memberships get gifted, I guess I can see who they get gifted to. And then I can be like, oh, shout out and welcome this guy and that guy or this gal or whatever. So, and become a member for 99 cents. This week I didn't do a member show. Maybe I'll jump on Friday for you guys, okay? Because it was just storming. My power was out all Tuesday. So Monday I got too busy. Tuesday it was fucking storming. And the power did remain on, but it was probably better I didn't just stream and then it did get fucking cut off or whatever. So, and then I'd have no way of ending the stream. It'd just be 12 hours of fucking nothingness, you know? So, yeah, I'll maybe jump on Friday and we'll fucking hang out for a bit, do botches and spots, or maybe there's someone to felt or something, you know, we'll figure it out. Okay, there's 100 or so in here. So, let's get into all of this stuff, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a segment that I love and I hold near and dear to my heart, okay? And it really should just be called Indies News, but it is called Miscellaneous News. And yeah, see, I don't have my Barrett sound in the bees yet. I will get it, I swear to use. But ladies and gentlemen, Conan, and bring Cuervo with you.
He had that Cuervo with him the whole time too.
For Miscellaneous News. So the Velveteen Dream says he's back and wants to represent Ukraine now. You what? The fuck are you talking about, son? So he's back and he wants to rep the Ukraine. So, and I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? I guess. But what does that mean for pro wrestling? We head here to Ringside News. You guys are seeing that, right? Perfetto. No, I'm not downloading the Ringside News app, if that's what they're asking me to do. So, Velveteen Dream, he's back in the conversation. And Patrick Clark is taking that comeback to Ukraine. And he says, professional wrestling is full of success stories, but failures. People barely remember those. And even fewer remember the ones who find the strength to come back. I wasn't perfect, but I'm not the person many think I am either. I'm just a guy from the States with a dream, a guy who once had a crown dropped on his head before he was ready to carry it. And when everything fell apart, a lot of people decided the story was over. I don't know why that's my impression of him. But here I am, coming to Ukraine, fighting for a championship again after all these years, and that's my choice. My choice to step back in the spotlight before a different man. I'm here to prove that the Velveteen Dream is back, and not to prove people on top that I can be trusted again, but to prove to myself that Patrick Clark can be better than he once was. So is he allowed to be called Velveteen Dream? Like, did WWE just ditch that gimmick, or do they still own the rights to it? I'm not really interested in seeing this motherfucker come back. I got to be completely honest, but it is what it is. Exactly, you know? No problem. But good for him, man. He's going to represent Ukraine by winning this title, and hopefully he does it, right? So here is a move that sexy BJ Ray, if you guys remember him. So if you're unfamiliar, he was on the show WWE LFG. And before that, he was actually on the show Next Gen. And I know I've said this a billion times, but just in case it's your first time watching or listening to the show, sexy BJ Ray, he was a competitor on the Roku show called WWE Next Gen, which I feel is superior to WWE LFG. So on LFG, it's more like gimmick, everything's a work, kayfabe, competition type show. Next Gen is just really like, here's our recruits. Here's William Regal fucking teaching them shit. and Matt Bloom teaching them shit, you know, and here's the people who fucking can't bump enough and got to go home, and here's the people who can make it through. And so a lot of these characters, Xena Sterling, I think that's her name, and some others, right? They come from the show. Jay Cutler or Cutler J or whatever the fuck his name is in the Jay Cutler, isn't that a football player? I think I always mix that up, but he's in Dark State, and he was on that show too. And BJ Ray was popular on that show a long time ago when Next Gen was first a thing. He got into like a work shoot work, brother, with Cutler J or Jay Cutler or whatever. And then they tried to recreate it in a fake way on WWE LFG. Okay, but they for real gotten like a scrap, and it went viral on social media at the PC like way before, and nobody knew who the fuck these guys were, right? So we fast forward. They do the show LFG. It's a mixture of some new folks, but a lot of the people who were from Next Gen, okay? And then Sexy BJ Ray, he's known for just stirring up shit and talking a bunch of mess. So BJ Ray then gets released after like season 2 of LFG, whatever. He just doesn't get along. He's living his gimmick too much. He had a great gimmick. Everybody loved the promos he cuts, but he's just like actually rubbing people the wrong way. And again, in the entertainment industry, it's not all about like, this guy's really good. Okay, so's Cora Jade. But if they're a nuisance to deal with backstage and everyone's got to come to work and deal with someone's shit all the time, that's not good, especially when you're on a movie set, especially when you're going to TVs. Like, yes, business is business, and sometimes that business means you got to get fucking fired because you're a nuisance and making business stuff for everybody over here. And I think BJ Ray fell into that category. So since then, he showed up at a TNA show and was yelling at some of the NXT people during their match, like heckling them, though, like essentially trying to get attention. And everyone's like, fuck this guy. Like, who is this loser, you know? And TNA didn't want him. He went about that the wrong way. And now he talked all this shit online. It really stirred up no attention. Again, like 31 likes on this. No hate, but like, come on, man. And now he's just on these indies with like 7 people in the crowd. And he's doing shit and making it work. But he is trolling again because he's like, I invented this, a springboard 180 bulldog. And it's like, you will all in chat be like, oh, we've seen this before, Phil, this move. And I know you will because I swear I've seen it before. So he hits a clothesline. He's in like the Chuck Liddell type trunks. Okay, there's like 30, 40 people there. So look at that. He's like, I invented this move. Now that was pretty clean, right? He does a springboard into the fucking flying bulldog. But like, come on, man. You mean to tell me like Carmelo Hayes or someone ain't hit that like fucking in the early days, you know? That's a move like a bunch of dudes probably stopped doing because they're like, oh, fuck that, you know? So did he fucking, you know what I mean? Did he invent that? No. Could it be his signature moving forward? Sure. Is it in 2K? I don't think so. But people are tired of BJ Ray's shit. So he's just trolling by saying the first ever springboard bulldog, right? Sorry, muted myself. So, recently, New Japan, you know, they fucking dropped AEW from New Japan World, okay, as my AEW gets rolled out. And ever since then, you know, people have been talking about, hey, maybe they'll work with WWE, maybe they'll still work with AEW, whatever. All of that aside, New Japan is rolling out some new stuff, and they announced a partnership with Japanese Pod 101 to teach fans Japanese through wrestling. I think this fucking rules, okay? It's always good to know a couple languages, and I think wrestling's cool as fuck, and if you can create a new wrestling fan by teaching them a language through it, or vice versa. Like you can teach someone, or like you're a wrestling fan, so you can learn a language, you know? I think that's fucking awesome. And I mean, come on, Ichi Nissan Da. Am I right, chat? Ichi Nissan Da. Because of pro wrestling, Tone himself, a billionaire, knows some Japanese. Okay, so don't forget. And so let's see what this is about. New Japan Pro Wrestling is pleased to announce a new collaborative project with Japanese Pod 101. Through an extensive library of video and social content, together with carefully curated online lessons, Japanese Pod 101 is a long-established leader in online Japanese language learning. A series of collaborative videos in the coming weeks and months will allow New Japan fans to get to grips with some of the Japanese language spoken by fans, wrestlers, and in venues, allowing for deeper immersion of the Japanese pro wrestling culture for regular Japanese Pod 101 viewers and users. This collaborative content will serve as an introduction to a key part of Japanese sporting and popular culture they might not have explored before. So who knows, maybe a bunch of WWE fans will learn Japanese and then they'll want to leave and link up with... No, I'm joking, but I don't think like New Japan and WWE are going to work together anytime soon, but I do think that door is way more open than it was, just based on like the fact it's, you know, TV aside and all that. Like they want to do, they're in the TV business, baby. But for now, check out Nuge with what is it called? Japanese Pod 101. I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. And that, ladies and germs, was miscellaneous news. Yay. So, boy, oh boy. I don't know how I feel about that opener. I mean, Roosh loses. You know that's going to happen. MJF slips away. It's just booked the exact same way as Darby Allin. Now fucking you have Orange Cassidy out there. There's no reason to keep watching this show. Like you just saw the main event already with blood and everything. The fuck's the point of even watching this shit? Well, we have great matches. Okay, the ratings are going to start going down again. God damn it. And so the conglomerate or the conglomeration are just standing there frozen. Pourquoi? Oh, they're all scared of Lio Rush. So again, I didn't do a Memba Monday show, but I had heard an allegedly that we'll talk about in WWE news as well. But then it's like some dirt sheets are talking about what that allegedly was like a day or two later. So I was like, shit, I wish I was fucking, I streamed and I could have told you guys. But I am trying to actually find it now because I know that I'm going to put this in WWE news, motherfucker. Where did I see it? Maybe it was just someone online talking shit, actually, and it wasn't even a report, but I could have sworn it was a report. Yes. Okay, from who, though? Yes, okay. So The Observer, its goddamn self. So I will bookmark that. That is perfect. Excellent. Okay. Lio Rush. Lio Rush is just fucking nutty. I like this gimmick. I was putting it over before. You guys can listen to PWT or go back and watch older PWT when he started doing this in Japan. I was putting it over then. Okay, so let's get into what do we have next? Let's just jump into TNA news because there's fucking literally nothing in there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dust off the old banjos, shall we? Shall we dust off the old aces and eights? Because it's time for TNA news, guys. So, per PWI, TNA World Champion Mike Santana, his contract is currently set to expire sometime in July. WWE has shown interest in Santana in the past. Now, I'm pretty sure it's a foregone conclusion where he's going. I just wonder if some of his momentum and heat cooled down a little bit because TNA's cooled down a little bit. And, you know, where's he going to fit in the grand scheme of things? Now, I think NXT, he'd be a perfect fit with Mason Rook, and you have Naraku, and you have Tony D, and Santana could be like the last man standing out of those guys, or him and Rook could go on and feud for a little bit when Evil goes up to the main roster. I just don't see Evil being in NXT for too long. I think they're going to fast track him to the much like Julia, to the main roster, but it's just making sure he gets some reps in, and that's what Evil wanted. So good for him, right? Like they wanted to put him on the main roster. He was like, "Nah, let me go to NXT for a bit." And good for him because that's just professional as fuck. I think Santana, the same thing. Like, could he go to the main roster? Yeah. Am I more hype on him than seeing like Cardona wrestle or whatever? Yeah, but what does he do? There's so many killers on the main roster right now. Like you need some guys like Santana to show up in NXT to kind of heat things up there as well. And a lot of people are into the new direction of NXT. A lot of people are clowning on it. I think it's obvious where Leon Slater is going to end up and obvious where Santana is going to end up. Like anybody making it seem like they might go to AEW is a fucking fool. Especially Santana. I mean, he escaped that place, but that's part of the deal, okay? Part of the deal is Leon Slater was on SmackDown. He brought the X Division title on TV. He's going to be in, they put his moves in the fucking 2K game. He is going to be in WWE, and those guys are going to be in NXT 100%. So it's interesting this summer. We're going to see a couple guys roll over from TNA, and I don't know what TNA can do to hype things up. Maybe get a couple big signings, but are they even capable of doing that? I don't know. I doubt with like doing 100,000 less viewers almost or whatever. I'm sure like AMC is not overly happy with that shit, you know? But we also don't know what like AMC Plus and TNA Plus and those numbers are doing. And I thought TNA would be touching like 300K sooner than later at the pace they were going, but it can still happen in time. Again, a lot of people online are like, "Oh, everyone who said it could be number 2, you're fucking stupid and stuff." And it's like, no, it could be number 2. It could have become, and it still could become. It's all about perception, you know. So it still could, and it could have. That's not that crazy to predict that shit, right? And number 2 as far as perception and like TV ratings and stuff. However, we don't know. And lately, AEW, I guess they had a little increase there after the pay-per-view. So good for them. We'll talk about that in Ratings Wars. But TNA has not. They've been sort of suffering a bit of a lull. And who knows? Like, this is their first run on AMC. So after the fucking playoffs, does it get better? I don't really know. They were number 1 for teens like every week. And then now since Nielsen changed again, they're not even ranking for teens. So how much of it is on Nielsen? I'm not about to cope over Nielsen, but if that's the case, that's a significant thing where it's like, well, what's going on there? So again, we just look at the ratings for what they are. Yeah, they're in a bit of a lull. Hopefully they can get it back. Hopefully there's more hype surrounding it. NXT stopped like invading and it cooled off. The invasion turned into showdown and it wasn't what everybody wanted. And everybody wanted to see TNA versus NXT, like an all-out war, and we never really got to see it play out more than like after the Survivor Series type matches. I thought we were going to maybe get like a War Games between them or like a fucking who knows. But we were on the trajectory of people predicting like there will be an X Division match at WrestleMania or at a Stand and Deliver. And now it's just like no hype really. They're still signing these short ass deals, which I thought they were going to lock people in longer. So like Daria Ray, Sonya Deville, she's already talking about her contracts coming up. It's like, whoa, you just got there. Like, I don't know why they're doing that, but you see Santino Marella at in Italy. He got a fucking monster pop there. And yeah, I don't know if there's a way to drum up interest and get NXT TNA. Like, I know some people were tired of NXT just running amok all over TNA. And I agree, that's kind of shitty, but I thought we would see more of the crossover stuff still play out, other than just like, okay, Ariana Grace has a title, had the Knockouts title for a minute, you know, it just fizzled out and it's not there and the hype's gone. So it would be awesome if, we get like a Worlds Collide or something show where TNA and NXT and AAA and maybe Noah can all cross over. Again, we're going to talk about WWE and whatnot a little bit more. And that, ladies and Santana will be in WWE, obviously. If anybody's making up fucking AEW or saying Leon Slater's going to go to AEW, like that just will not fucking happen. I'm sorry. I know Dave wants to float that out there and pretend, but the other thing Santana could do is go to AAA and do some stuff there and just sort of broaden his horizons and broaden his fan base. And, that would be cool. He doesn't have to go there full time. Like I see him as like a Raw or SmackDown guy one day, but in NXT he'll be great. And then in AAA he could do a couple matches here or there, and I'm sure the crowd would get way behind him, and that would be really cool. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. TNA news, pardon me. I botched. Pardon me. I'm watching AEW on TV right now, and that's my wires are crossing. That was TNA news. Hi, saw you were live and saw TNA news. Just bought front row tickets for 2 nights, so fingers crossed that it's as fun as Under Siege was last year. It'll be fun. You'll have a great time. It'll be nothing but a good time. It'll be a good time. I'm thinking of going to the Impact tapings. I'm probably going to in the wintertime. Because they're coming up north here, so I will probably check those out. I'm going to be perfectly honest. So it'll be fun. And hopefully Jeff Hardy can... hopefully Jeff Hardy shit's cleared up, because I'm a mark for him, and I'd love to... They don't really let people with DUIs in or out of the country here. So... You can go on like a trip and shit like that for sure if you're from, but like to get in the country, dude, when you've been arrested like for any reason multiple times, they don't really, in Canada, they don't really want you coming in here. If you're from the States, other places, I don't know if they really give too much of a fuck, to be honest, but I digress. So JBL was saying something interesting too, saying what Phil S. Marks has been saying. And so Mark Briscoe's going to get a shot at Max Jacob Friedman next show or some shit. He'll get a title shot at Forbidden Door or something like that before All In. And these two have had some bloody wars before, so... It is what it is, but this just isn't how you make MJF. Like, this is what he already did. Oh, Darby has a bunch of fucking challengers and beats all the challenge. And I'm not saying, like, champions shouldn't thwart challengers, but again, they just don't understand the whole like prize fighting. Like Roman only has to come around once in a while. Fucking Tyson Fury doesn't even fight once a year, you know. And I get it is weekly TV, so you got to have champions fight and be involved in storylines. I'm not saying don't do that, but it's just already like, okay, he took out Roosh, he's going to take out Briscoe, he's going to take out fucking like he's going to take everyone out. Same thing they did with Darby, but because they're too dumb to realize they're just doing the same thing, the storyline becomes, well, Darby's had all these challengers, and then fucking Dave starts putting it over like it's the fucking second coming of Jesus Christ. Amen. And it's pretty cooked there, buddy. Pretty fucking cooked. Okay. We need to go through Phil Mack's book, and we're talking WWE, so we might as well jump into some WWF news, guys. We do got quite a bit of WWE news, but I'm just listening to Mark Briscoe here. He's cutting it up. Barry the roster just got here. Sorry, I'm late. I'm late like your mom's now, but really, why is Mick Foley and ID 10T now? Okay. When an idiot now. Oh, I get what you're saying. When JBL said that, oh boy, I read Reddit was saying no, keep WWE away from Nuge, and they use the NXT UK excuse. Okay, well, I'm going to break that all down. I'm not paying like $200 per nosebleed tickets. I have to drive 2 hours to a WWE show, to a WWE house show. Yeah, that's exactly it too. Like I got to fucking drive like quite a ways to go to WWE Live or whatever, to the live event. Yeah, so. Okay, so ladies and germs, let's get into WWF news, Worldwide Wrestling Federation news. Mark Briscoe's he can cut a goddamn good promo. Okay, guys. So, it's official. WWE has announced that Triple Mania 34 Night 1 will take place in Las Vegas on September 11, while Night 2 will be held in Mexico on September 13. Now, my whole thing is this, right? I fucking have been saying that they're going to do this with some of these 2-night PLEs on the main roster. And this could be, and a lot of people are like, oh, they're not going to redo that one WrestleMania back then. No, here's the thing. They were forced to do that. Which Mania was it where they were in 2 different cities? You guys will tell me. It was like 2 or 3 or whatever, right? Or 4 maybe. I forget. I'm a youngster. You boomers will let me know. No, I'm joking. But listen. Your boy Phil's been saying it, man. They are going to do WrestleManias or SummerSlams or like a Money in the Bank in 2 different cities. Back then, they were forced to do it that way. Now they can fucking charge places. Like people will pay for them to do it that way. Now, maybe it doesn't go to the WrestleMania level, and maybe it won't be in 2 different countries. Maybe it'll be different cities. I don't fucking know. And maybe it doesn't work for WrestleMania, but they're clearly trying it out here. They're clearly trying it out on a lower level, and maybe it's a test. Maybe they'll look at the analytics and go, this kind of fucking worked out. Maybe we can try it with a SummerSlam one year and see if it works. Maybe it could happen for WrestleMania. And then they can cause 2 Mania weeks, 2 economy shifts. blah, 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 blah. And this is what I mean. Like WWE's here playing fucking 4D chess while like Tone and them are playing fucking checkers and shit, dude. Like everyone's talking about, oh man, Mania is going to be in Saudi. Tone, you should set up a fucking show that weekend so the wrestlers have a place to go that weekend, even though the XS wrestling fans won't be there. Meanwhile, WWE's like, go ahead. Like, do you think it matters? And this is what I was saying too. It doesn't matter. You know, WrestleManias are going to end up being in 2 fucking states, you know, because they can't. It's not like WrestleMania 2 or whatever. Okay, guys? Because back then they had to do that. In this era, it's like people want them to do that. These states want them to do that. These venues want them to do that. The fucking economies want them to do that. They're going to get them tax breaks and pay them. They'll get double the money, you know, they'll get a 6 million, whatever from here and a 6 million from over here. And they'll do a WrestleMania where night 1 is in New York and then night 2 is in Los Angeles or whatever the fuck. And fans will cry and complain about that too. And then what happens to WrestleCon then? How do they choose where to go to? Well, it will just maybe they'll follow suit and go, okay, we're going to have WrestleCon both places, and then the indies split up. And that might be better for fans because then it's not like you get 10 midget wrestling shows on top of 10 GCW shows that week, on top of the 120 other shows. We went over them all, WrestleMania week. Then those can split up, and then fans in New York, and they might be like, fuck, man, I wanted to see this, though, which is in LA, and I fucking da-da-da-da-da. Okay, people will get pissed about that, too. But again, I'm not saying this is like definitively going to happen for WrestleMania and shit, but come on, Triple Mania doing this. We're back 2 nights, but 1 night's in Mexico, 1 night's in the States. Now, some people might be like, oh, come on now, Phil, that's not very fair. It's so that American fans can see 1 night of Triple Mania and they'll feature more WWE superstars. And night 1 will be in Mexico, or night 2, I think, is in Mexico. And that's for the Mexican fans. I get that, but if it like works really well, then they don't go, okay, well, everyone wants Money in the Bank 2 nights, or like we've been considering it. What if we do 2-night Money in the Bank? Night 1, we have the men's world title and the women's Money in the Bank match here in this state. And then night 2 is the fucking women's title and the men's Money in the Bank in another state. They might test it. We don't know. So it's interesting that they're doing this. And yeah, I'll be watching the fuck out of these, okay? So we move. Oh, yeah, and it's not only that, it's like 2 days later, I'm pretty sure. Unless they made a typo there. It said the 11th and the 13th. So it's like, whoa. So yeah, so look at this too. Raw announced and SmackDown that on September 11 and September 14, Raw and SmackDown respectively will be in Mexico City. And that will be crazy. You're going to see one of the craziest crowds. You're going to see a bunch of AAA guys pop up. And if it is Omos, you know, like a friend of the show, JJ Alexander, believes Omos is, you know, Danhausen's Frankenstein monster or whatever. If it is Omos, then okay, this could be where it's finally unveiled. June, July, September. That's a long ass time though. But maybe that's been their plan, unveil Omos. I mean, he's over in Mexico right now. But either way, this is going to go crazy, and Mexico's been like going crazy for a Raw and SmackDown for a while, and they were tired of getting house shows, so now they're finally getting shows, and this is what happens when AAA goes out there and blows up the scene, and WWE blows up the fucking scene, and we're going to talk about blowing up the scene here in just a second. But yeah, Mexico City, get fucking ready. Speaking of getting ready, something you can never be ready for is getting spiked on your head. Octagon Jr. suffered a neck injury from a DDT off the top ropes, highest point. He was carried out on a stretcher, guys. So best energies for Octagon Jr. This is nasty. You guys see that, man? Terrible. Oh my God. Okay, he's wiggling his hands though, but like maybe he can't feel them though. We don't know. He's moving them, so maybe he can. His legs are moving. No, I don't think they're really working fully though. God damn, that's so scary and sad. I hope he's okay. That is pretty cooked, man. And I just hope he's good to go. Incredibly scary. Off the middle rope, too, on like a tornado DDT or whatever you want to call that. I'm not sure, but it's incredibly unfortunate. Kevin Pierpont for Too Sweet says, what'd you say here, Bud? Sickos and Meltzer will have a major cope with WWE Mexico. Bud, already Dave was talking about, the presentation was the best and the match. Yeah, sure. Was it one of the best? But it's no Mystico. Already, buddy. He was saying some shit like that. Like, we move along here and sticking with AAA. The inaugural, or pardon me, maybe their inaugural first episode. So the inaugural AEW episode, I think, did 1.4 million. Some people argue that it was like 1.2 million, whatever. And when we were looking at AAA Noche de los Grandes, when we were looking at it live while we were watching it on PWT Live Show, we said it was around 300K. Some people said during the main event it peaked at over 300K. Now, this mask versus mask match, again, I've never heard any casual random person or like other shows that I listen to talking about fucking Mystico or CMLL or anything like that. Fucking everyone, I'm not even joking. I don't mean to pull a Meltzer, but like everyone was bringing it up. People were like, oh, did you see that? Like asking me, like I was telling you, I was hanging out with family today. I had a relative be like, oh, did you see the luchadors do the fucking mask? I'm like, yes, of course. I'm like, you knew about that? I was listening to fucking Kino Casino and they were talking about Noche de los Grandes. It's madness. Okay. And when you see the 300,000 viewers, that's like the peak, or that's like the concurrent viewers at one moment, but that isn't factoring in how many people switch the show off, go watch something else, come back, or how many people like watch the first hour, fall off. Like this live stream, if I go 4 hours, there's some people who like listen to the first 2 hours, come back and watch the next 2 hours later. You know, everybody, we all have streams where we do shit like that. Okay. So the true number, like when it was all said and done, streamed 13 hours ago, that's a good time. Like 12 hours later, you get the real number, right? And even my stream, when it was all said and done, it was over 2,000 people tuned in throughout the live, right? And the replays have been awesome too. So like this thing was doing numbers, man. So we see 300,000, but the true like views it got as far as people coming in, watching a certain amount of time, taking off, it was 1.3 million views, which is fucking crazy. And also if a video's getting like a shitload of views really quickly, it often like takes a day to even get the true, like you don't even really know. Like your YouTube studio will show you a completely different number than when you, like if someone watching it clicks the link. Like I'm sure Mr. Beast, when he drops a video, and then like I'm sure it'll show you 6 million views in the first hour, but when he goes in a studio, it's probably like 10 million views. It's just not all fully fucking showing, you know? So and that's, I'm just letting you guys know as like, you know, someone who does YouTube and shit. So 1.3 million views to watch Noche de los Grandes. Like that is fucking crazy. That's insane. That's actually fucking insane. You can confidently say in the first, because this is why replay matters and retention rate matters and all of that, but it got 1.3 million viewers, roughly, give or take, fucking within the first 12 hours, dude. And that's just on WWE's YouTube. That's not counting the AAA YouTube. Okay. That doesn't include fucking, I don't even know. What was it all streaming on? We don't even know. Like, was it just YouTube's like all over the world, or was it on Fox as well? I'm pretty sure it was on Fox. So what did Fox do? Right? Like, this is a crazy fucking number. This is an insane number, actually. Okay. And this is like, WWE built this. This didn't just happen because they're like, oh, John Cena's here. Like, they built something special here, man. And it fucking paid off, and it's working, and it's crazy. And Gable's on another level. You have fucking bunch of tards saying, oh, Gable should go to AEW. Gable should go to AEW. And it's like, why? To do moves? Because he can do moves? What the fuck don't these people understand? Like, guys, the reason this was so over and you love Gable so much is because he just told a fucking story, and he did this hokey gimmick that you all tried to shit on and say it's culturally insensitive. Then you motherfuckers tried to say it's disgusting, they're using AI. And then you guys tried to say it's a comedy, goofy acting, Gable should be more. And then he builds this fucking brilliant thing, him and Kaiser, and now it's he should go to AEW. He's brilliant. He's too good for the Fed. But you wouldn't have gotten that if he was in AEW. He would just be having a match right now with Daniel Garcia on Collision and going 50-50. Like, why do you dumb fucks never realize this? Dave's like, oh, Kendall Gray should go. Then why didn't Tone scoop her up on the indies?
You are a naive, brainless, pathetic, idiotic, clueless, dumbass Mark.
And this match was so good. They also aired it on Netflix, guys. So just so you know, the replay went up on Netflix, which is absolutely insane. It's insane. Think about how many people saw this shit, and they just blew up. Like, yes, was Conan booking AAA well? Yes, he fucking was. Okay, he's booking it really well. They were having tons of success. But did WWE just take it to this whole ass other level? And is Undertaker just fucking crushing right now? And he was a silly gimmick. I've always said this. When people do like real wrestling and shit, it's like, bro, Undertaker is the phoniest, fakest, cheesiest baby fucking gimmick ever. It's a zombie. It's a fucking Frankenstein, bro. It's the dumbest shit ever. Most childlike shit ever. But he made it work. So how does he know how to get these luchas and these like other fucking worldly, if you will, superhero like characters over to the American audiences? He knows how to do it because he fucking did it his whole career, bro. Him and Kane. That's like the dumbest shit ever. You know what I mean? He burnt him in a fire and he wears the mask, and then he took the mask off and his face isn't even burnt, and fucking really think about, we're demons, man, right? Undertaker's like, there's been doppelgangers and he summoned lightning and come back from the dead and shit. Like, that's the dumbest shit of all time. It ruled, though. It fucking rules, and we all love the Undertaker. So who else would know how to get this shit over better? I know fucking Dave is like, oh, well, who else but Tony Khan? The best guy, man. Mr. Khan. He got a match. Right? But Undertaker just kiboshed all that. And so, yeah, just what a spectacular show it was. What people are saying, it was better. And I agree. I enjoyed it more than Clash in Italy. I did. Clash in Italy was fine. I put up a review of Clash in Italy, guys. I did like a little video essay. WWE fucking kept blocking it. Every 10 goddamn minutes, they flagged another little 1 second of it that I had to quickly tweak. So that was annoying as fuck, but check it out if you haven't. But yeah, Noche de los Grandes ruled, and Undertaker's just spectacular, and WWE's just blowing up this whole scene. And Ernesto Ocampo says, after WWE Raw, WWE is airing on Netflix the mask match of El Grande Americano against Original Grande Americano. The bad thing is that it's with the commentary of Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto instead of keeping the original narration of Jose Manuel Guillen and Roberto Figueroa, who are superior in every sense. So, shout out Ernesto Ocampo. He's like felted Dave Meltzer and Sap and all of these fucking dirt sheet people in the States, right? And he's just like a legit dirt sheet guy, if you will, journalist who covers Mexican wrestling and whatnot and lucha libre. And he also noted that I think Pete Dunne produced the fucking mask versus mask match. So again, when people are like, is this all they have for Pete Dunne? Pete Dunne should have been world fucking champ, man. No, dude. His calling is this. Like, some guys are Dean Malenko. Like, yeah, you fucking ruled for a bit. You were a cool cruiserweight. You know, you fucking had some cool matches and shit, but like, you're producing now and you're helping elevate other people. You know? So yeah. So Pete Dunne showed him out. He's crushing it. And they're on fucking Netflix. They took that whole thing to Netflix. So AAA announces a sponsorship deal with Ram Trucks. Ram Trucks. Ram, who's that guy who talks like Ford F-150? Which truck is it? I don't, a Dodge Ram. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Shout them out. Doing deals with Ram Trucks. So yeah, Pete Dunne was the producer for the unforgettable mask versus mask match. That fucking rules. Shout out Pete Dunne. And again, do you guys want him released or do you want him doing this? Sometimes you find your lane and that's the lane. This is like Samantha Irvin when it's like, oh, I fucking tried to be a singer. I tried to be a flute player. I was on these reality shows or competition reality shows, whatever. And I didn't make it. All these doors slam in my face. And then I discover that I'm the fucking best ring announcer of all time. And so I'm going to leave doing that to try and sing again. And then I'm going to manage Ricochet eventually in AEW. It's like, okay. So Pete Dunne, oh, no, man, I'm going to hold out and be world champion. Or you be a legend like that. Like, now you're a legend, buddy. You know? So, speaking of AAA, though, JBL believes WWE, and again, this is another I told you so, and I've been telling you motherfuckers, they need to start doing this. I keep saying Nuge maxing. It might be Noah. Who knows what they decide to go with? Again, I'm not a dirt sheet, but I had a fucking someone who worked all the fucking Japan feds and all the indie feds here and shit in the Americas was like, and worked in TNA. I'm sure had a dark match in WWE at one point in their career, but they were telling me like, yeah, dude, WWE was looking at buying like a Fed. They started working with Noah after like Nuge. I don't know if they formally turned them down but WWE was poking around the same way they were poking around Mexico and landed on AAA, which again, I fucking told you guys about before any dirt sheet, again, the whole Hot Lucha Summer saga, you guys can go back and listen to that era of PWT if you'd like, but I was talking about it for a long ass time. So this is another thing that I've been positive is going to happen, but JBL is certainly positive of that as well, and he believes WWE's strategy with AAA could soon be replicated internationally with the UK and Japan viewed as the next major targets for expansion. So I think we'll see it play out in Japan first. UK will be the last, and maybe it's not just UK, but they call it Europe. And I've been saying this for a long time too. They might just go Europe, like all of Europe. Just to maybe get away from the stink of the UK, or maybe they want the stink of the UK and they're like, no, dude, we're going to bring back the Heritage Cup. Although WWE recently just stopped, like officially, the Heritage Cup is donezo. So maybe that's by design because they're going to bring it back and like rebrand. Because you remember when the Cruiserweight title became the fucking NXT Cruiserweight title? It was the WWE Cruiserweight title, then it became the NXT Cruiserweight title. And then like the NXT UK Championship wasn't like the world championship of NXT UK or the UK title, I guess, is still the same thing. But, you know, like NXT like absorbed it for a minute there and absorbed some of these belts. So maybe they're getting rid of the Heritage Cup officially now so they can relaunch it if they do NXT UK. Like maybe they go, no, we have history of NXT UK and we're going to bring the UK title back and all of these things. But again, something I talked about a long time ago, when the speaking out movement happened, a bunch of the people who were working with Triple H and WWE and NXT UK were part of the speaking out stuff, right? Like a bunch of the guys, the El Ligero guy and Jack Gallagher and a bunch of these motherfuckers, okay? They were named in this thing, and a bunch of the UK scene. Like, it's not just Marty Scurll and it's like a bunch of the UK scene was called out during the, Will Ospreay's caught heat for he defended Buddy, who was called out by whoever the fuck or whatever. At that time, Triple H got heat for that. We've covered this on the show. Vince McMahon punished him by bringing him up to the main roster and then took over NXT. NXT 2.0 was born, which wasn't all that bad. I mean, I thought NXT 2.0 had some highlights, and Stratton and Breaker and shit came from there. But that's when Vince McMahon got caught up in his sicko shit. And that's when more heat was created. And that's why Triple H was so keen on getting him the fuck out of there. Because Triple H was like, what the fuck? Well, the rumors are, right, is that Triple H was like, buddy, I didn't even do anything and I got punished. And he was like scolded for like, how dare you have these sick freaks? How dare you have these sick motherfuckers work for me? I need to go to the bathroom on someone's head on my plane. I mean, quick, text me on Signal. It's like, he got mad at Triple H for sicko shit when Triple H didn't do any sicko shit. Like other people, I guess Vince was mad he didn't vet them properly. I don't know. Maybe he could take some responsibility for that. But, and then when Vince's stuff came out, Triple H was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you're doing this after I got scolded. So that's why there is kind of they stay distant, it's true. And it's complicated. That's your father-in-law. That's your kids' grandfather and shit. But it seems like John Cena's more buddy-buddy than with Vince than fucking Triple H is in the last however long, right? So that's just a quick little recap, but I think UK could happen. Maybe Europe is the way to go. You just say Europe, and then you do like a European, and then the UK scene can be all over that, but you feature guys like, I don't know, Elio Lafleur and all these other dudes you're finding from these European countries and shit. Anybody blows up in WXW, or maybe Gunther's got his eye on some, who fucking knows, right? Europe would be cool. And then Japan, I mean, obviously. So the question remains, do they try and team up with Nuge? Do they buy up all Japan? Is that even a fucking option? Is that even something feasible? I don't know, right? I'm just throwing that out there. Or do you just do it with Noah, who you're already working with? And again, I don't expect any of these countries to outright sell.
I don't know.
At the same token, like maybe a 51% ownership. I've thrown this out there, and again, I'm a dumb fuck. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know anything. Okay. But just from, watching fucking Shark Tank and Dragon's Den and paying attention online and shit, is it possible that WWE, like, okay, TV aside, or who owns Noah? I think Asai does, right? Who owns Pro Wrestling Noah? I think they own 100% of it, right? Cyber Agent does, who works with TV Asai, pardon me, and they own Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, so TJPW and DDT. So maybe, Cyber Agent through their subsidiary Cyber Fight. Okay. So maybe they could do something where Cyber Agent owns 51%, but then WWE has the 51, like they own 49%, but they have 51% of the like influence. You know what I mean? Like chair shares. You know what I'm saying? That could be interesting. I don't know if they would work something like that out. I think WWE would want at least a 51%, like with AAA. But I mean, if you own TJPW and you own DDT Pro, and you're like, well, look what they did with AAA. I mean, okay, you can own 51% of Noah, right? Maybe they'll cut that deal. Who fucking knows? But maybe New Japan smartens up and goes, nah, dude, we need to get on that. Fuck that shit. We need John Cena out here. We need something to bring this shit back to life. Who knows? But I think Evil is going to be a part of whatever that expansion is, most definitely. And also, guys, Asuka and Kairi are like, we're just going back to Japan, and we don't even know, is Kairi officially released? And even the last time she left WWE, she wasn't like fired, like, you're out of here. It was like, when you're ready to come back, you can come back. And Asuka's like, yep, I still work with WWE, but whatever. Okay, so they buy a Fed or 51% of Noah, or they start working with Nuge, and then you have Asuka, Kairi, some people, like, you know, if Io wants to go out there, if her and Evil want to live in Japan, then there's like, they can do shit out there. You know what I mean? And help blow up that scene a little bit. And that could be really cool. But again, JBL is like, they're going to mirror this success in Japan and the UK / I'm saying Europe. Okay. Now JBL would definitely know more than me, but I'm just saying, I think Europe might be, because then if they just go UK, it's going to drum up all the bullshit. Okay. And I already know that's what's going to happen. Like, but who really cares about people spurging
Or,
out?
you know, the young
the online
superstar,
shit,
you know, babyface, you know, that former heel thing. So,
but I just think they should do this, and I've been anticipating it for a while. And I hope it goes down. I really, really fucking do, because it'll give us something to get excited about again. And like Akira Tozawa could just go to Japan and like ball the fuck out like he used to, you know, think about it. And he's been so loyal to the company, and he's just fucking got squished by everybody. They send him out there and he's just a killer again. And he's just fucking putting on bangers with Marufuji and shit. No, with like Inamura and shit. Who knows, man? That could be
just
cool,
in from Phil Marks of PWT. He says, I told you so.
And then like Asuka could just lay in the cut, stay in Japan, still work for WWE and help facilitate shit, produce shit. She doesn't got to go have a match or anything right away. She can just do her thing and just help WWE from there, boots on the ground. Like that's the fucking move. So I fully anticipate that happening. Now, you know, I don't think it'll happen soon, but the AAA fucking deal creeped up, and it's like my better judgment's telling me like, okay, with what just happened with New Japan, like, could this be the time to strike? And then you look at the views of that Noche de los Grandes, and it's like, fuck, man. You approach them with that, and it's Lativia Sai and Cyber Agent might be like, yep, we want to be a part of that. So it could just happen right away. And remember, guys, Hot Lucha Summer, it might be a breezy Tokyo Drift.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
It might be a breezy Tokyo Drift this summer.
let's talk about it.
Oh my God, guys. We'll get we need an Ichi Nissan Da in chat for a breezy Tokyo Drift summer. Where the fuck is my Ichi Nissan Da? Here we go. Shout out Antonio Inoki. So let's talk about some main roster stuff. Okay, guys? Okay, chat? And then we have a little bit of controversies and a little bit of hilarities. So WWE discussed alternative plans for Roman Reigns' opponent at Clash in Italy due to Jacob Fatu's injury per Fightful. Now, maybe this should go in dirt sheet fails.
You fucked up!
Because not only was this wrong and Jacob Fatu wasn't hurt, but like he looked great. He was moving around. Maybe he's just like really fucking tough, and we just didn't notice that he was hurt, but he was doing, like, you know, maybe they shot his back up with some shit and he fucking just went out there and had a good performance. Who knows? But
Wrestling's not fake!
These dirt sheets just got worked, and Drew McIntyre was one of the names discussed as a potential replacement per False Finish HQ. Now, False Finish HQ is that dude Corey Haynes or whatever from bodyslam.net, who left there to start his own shit. And he's just wrong and shit. And that guy would like respond to me, reply to me. I've had people from Body Slam hit me up for fucking asking me what I've heard about certain things and shit. And it's like, come on, man. Not him. He never hit me up asking me what I heard about anything, but like him and I like had a dialogue. And then he fucking blocked me because I made fun of the whole Braun Breaker bark thing when he tweeted out like bark. You know what I'm saying? So again, this turned out not to be true, and Jacob just went out and wrestled and he looked fine. And it wasn't even like, oh, during his entrance, he seemed like he was irritable. Then the match got going and he cooked. It was like he was selling, like on the way to the ring. He had his Tongan death grip hand out. He was fucking cussing out people in the front row, like, don't fucking touch me and stuff. So he was on point. So good for Jacob, and he's not fucking hurt. And the dirt sheets fail again. So speaking of the main roster and failing and possibly being hurt and whatnot, the Vision, man, they cannot stay healthy. So Braun Breaker hurts him. Well, it starts with Seth. He puts the group together. He gets hurt after coming off of a fucking long injury. Then Bronson Reed gets hurt. I think Breaker got hurt at the same time. And then Breaker comes back. And then Logan Paul hurts himself badly. And now what happened was, I guess it's Freebird rules, or they didn't necessarily say it's Freebird rules, but which it should be, unless they said it and I missed it. I don't know. I may have missed them saying explicitly, yes, it's Freebird rules, right? But Breaker, because they're in the same faction, slides in and automatically becomes one half of the world tag titles, which I was questioning that. I was like, they should just maybe vacate them and push Theory as a singles with Heyman. And the reason why is because Breaker, I heard allegedly, and this was before fucking anybody's reporting on it now, like by a couple
allegedly
days, okay? But whatever, you don't even have to believe me. I don't give a fuck, but I'm not dirt sheet. But I was talking about this shit already and how Breaker just fucking comes flying. And I told you guys a long time ago too, there was like Breaker had to get talked to, like, buddy, you have to slow it down a bit. Like, you're going to hurt Seth. You're fucking landing on Punk weird. You're fucking, you're going to hurt these guys. You got to chill. And he has no chill. Breaker goes flying through the air, and like immediately he comes back and he fucking goes flying over the announce table and all this shit. And then I heard an allegedly, I'll just read it to you motherfuckers. I might as well. I'll just read you what was said to me. Here. Apparently there's heat / criticism on Braun Breaker behind the scenes because he keeps taking insane bumps onto stuff and isn't protecting himself. And let me see, there was one before that, I think, too. Let me just scroll back here. Yeah, just Breaker is nutty. Okay, so word is, so this is way before, this is a fucking week ago. Word is Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns are both working injured. Okay, they're both banged up. And I think before Clash in Italy, I think I told you guys that as well. So then all of a sudden today, the fucking dirt sheets come out and they go, rumored update. So, and this is multiple dirt sheets. I looked it up while we were on the air, but I just bookmarked the Observer because fuck them. And they go, Braun Breaker's reportedly just banged up after his match with Seth on WWE Raw and is not expected to miss time. But yeah, this is like before this match even. Word is I'm getting DMs saying he's banged up and he's going too crazy and he's flying through the fucking air, like fucking crushing people and shit. And it's awesome. I get it. And I get he might be a top guy one day, but a friend of the show, JJ Alexander's like, no, he fucking hurts himself. He's too crazy. He won't make it because of that. Guys won't want to work with him and shit. He's laid out things like that. So maybe he's fucking right. I don't know, but look at Dragunov again. I called it. I was like, guys, it rules. Like Dragunov rules, but he's beating the fuck out of everybody. You can't do that every week. Like the roster, you think Sammy wants to like fight people every day, like every week, like actually get in a fight with Dragunov and that be the number one contender? Like, fuck no, dude. And like that rules, but you have to match him up with the right people. He can't run through your whole roster, like actually beating everyone. And that's the thing with Breaker. And if he's banged up and there's rumors that he's injured and people are worried that he's hurt again, you just came back, buddy. Calm the fuck down. Now, I know it's awesome. If he tamed it back a little bit, would it take away some of his essence and shit? Yes. You know, it might fuck up his aura a little bit, but at the same time, you can't be like hurting guys like Roman Reigns and stuff. And if Roman Reigns is a little banged up, that remains to be seen, but he also looked great against Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu wasn't hurt, and the fucking sheets were saying he's banged up, but I didn't get any allegedlys about Jacob Fatu. You know what I'm saying? And I got allegedlys about Braun Breaker, and motherfucking Braun Breaker seems to be banged up and working fucking. And I mean, who isn't? Who isn't as a pro wrestler? Everybody is. But when it's like you just came back, the fuck you gonna hurt yourself for again? It just makes no sense. And like you want to avoid that, but the Vision's just plagued with injuries. It's cursed. It's cursed. It's cursed. You know what I'm saying? So we move along here, and we're talking about the roster. Finn Balor has officially transitioned, so good for him. We're just awaiting the boob job, and we will, and I'll get back to you. No, he's officially I don't know. He officially transitioned to SmackDown. So he's on SmackDown, and then of course Dave sees this and goes, "Oh, well, the creative felt like it was time to freshen him up." It's like, okay, no shit, Sherlock. So shout out Finn. He'll be better on SmackDown for now. They need to switch things up. It would be cool if they just kind of like explain this shit on the show. Like if people become free agents and get swapped, or you guys are trading, let us know this on the show. You know, like WWE needs to fucking figure out the brand split stuff. Like for real. This should be way more well thought out. And like they should have way more I guess just thought that goes into like, okay, this dude's contract on Raw's coming up, like kayfabe it. Like this dude's deal's coming up. He becomes a free agent. Is he going to be on Raw or SmackDown? Nick Aldis is going to try and sign him up. He's really thinking about going to SmackDown. Like you have Sam Roberts and these people doing worked podcasts and shit pretty much. Like, why don't you just do it there and then clip it and fucking put it after the commercial break before the recap package and just let the audience watching at home know, hey, Finn's coming up on Raw. He's still in WWE, but in WWE, you have a WWE contract, but then you sign deals with the different general managers, and they fucking you just break it down sports wise, and we'll accept it a little more. But it's just like he's just there on SmackDown. Okay, like I'm cool with it. I want him to be on SmackDown right now. SmackDown's boring as fuck, but you know this should be like storylines and shit. You know. Speaking of storylines, the King of the Ring tournaments are setting off here. So in the King of the Ring tournament, we've had some people advance, but we're going to look at the brackets here. Ricky Saints and Tala Tonga have been replaced by Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre in the men's King of the Ring tournament bracket. So that was reported on, which it should be. Like, where the fuck has Drew been? It's just way too crazy. Let me just look up these brackets here on Wikipedia. So we had Obafemi advanced and Io Sky advanced. Okay. But otherwise, here are the King and Queen of the Rings. I'm sure you guys have seen all the hype. Keys versus Balor, Knight, Uso, Saints, he was replaced, and same with Tonga. Evans versus Rollins, Priest versus Williams, Breaker. I feel like, yeah, Breaker, Mysterio, Hayes Sikoa, Femi Penta. So it's cool too that it's kind of like two SmackDown guys, and then they face and then two Raw guys, and then they face each other in the semis or the quarters rather, and then Yeah, and then you have your semifinals in the middle there. So, yeah, and then on the women's side, a lot of people are upset that Liv Morgan, who is the current world champion, is in the Queen of the Ring, and they did make it clear that the winners get shots at the WWE championships, and that's fine. But I think that's kind of lazy booking for SummerSlam. Like, I really want there to be stories. I want there to be really compelling shit for people to get involved in, not just, oh, you won. You won this King of the Ring, so you get a shot at me at SummerSlam, and I'm fucking Roman Reigns, and I should have a way better story than that, or whatever. Or I guess it's not Roman Reigns; it would be Cody Rhodes, who they face. So I'm not like mad at it. I think they did that back in the day, but I don't know. I just think you could, for SummerSlam, for the big shows, you want it to be like very much heat based and story based. Like, oh, there's a ton of heat on this match, and maybe they can surround that match with that. But there's so many tournaments. They announced the John Tenental Classic, and then we got fucking the King and Queen of the Ring, and you got the Owen going on the other show, and the Owen's going there, bud. And it's like I'm tournamented out right now when it comes to wrestling, but I don't know. It is what it is. Liv Morgan, should she be the world champ trying to get a shot at the WWE? No, that's fucking stupid. And she just chose what show. Like, she chose to go after the world title before, and she had the choice of going. So, like, if the Royal Rumble, I don't fucking know, man. To me, it's just crazy. Like, she could have went to SmackDown and went after the WWE. It just doesn't make sense she'd be in this. Like, you're already the world champ. You know, it's supposed to be for people who aren't a world champ or whatever. So, again, the brand split thing, it just means fucking nothing, right? Because the idea, Brian, would be like, let's say Liv won it, then she's whoever wins it. Let's say they win the WWE title, they're on SmackDown, regardless if they were on there first or not. But with Liv, it's like she's the world champion, so I don't fucking know. But she's super over. I get why they did it, but you mean to tell me there's no other bodies, or there's not like a girl from NXT? You could have been like, okay, Kalani Jordan, here's your time to shine. You're going to make it to the fucking next round. And, you know, it kind of stinks, but oh well. I'm just not like overly hyped about either of these tournaments. I got to be honest. So we move along here. And speaking of tournaments and people being overhyped, a lot of people are saying Will Cruz, or what's his name, Mason Rook, is overhyped, and he looks like a lesbian, and they don't buy into him and all of these things. Naraku, aka Evil, is taking on Mason Rook in a number one contenders match for the NXT title, and the winner takes on Tony D. I'm over here now. Right? Oh. Now, again, when Tony D won this title, I was kind of shocked. I got to be honest. But it makes sense because he's there to help, like, get Evil ready for, I'm assuming, the main roster sooner than later. And he's also there to help get this next generation of people, sort of lead this next gen of, like, Mason Rook and these people who have shown up and been, or like who are coming, like they just jumped that one dude out of Dark State, and fucking, you got all these guys in NXT right now that they're trying to build up. So Tony D makes sense, you know?
Sure thing, bro. Sure thing.
And we'll play this clip here for a sec. It's not too long. We'll slap the music. He's going to, and there's Maxine Dupree's boyfriend. And then he is going to, I think, win this title from Tony D. And then I think he'll drop the title relatively quick to Tony D or Rook, probably just back to Tony D. And then I think he goes to the main roster, and maybe I'm just hot shot quickly booking him to the main roster. But I said the same thing about Julia, essentially, and that's what happened. She got fast tracked. I just see Evil getting fast tracked. They wanted him up there. And this is a cool fucking match. This is a cool Tony D versus Naraku. Is it Sami Zayn versus fucking Shinsuke? No. It's, you know, nowhere near the hype or the aura or the feeling of that. But I don't know, man. If Evil has a good showing, I think he'll be in Raw with EOS on Raw with Io Sky in no time. And it'll be interesting to see, like, isn't this Mason Rook's first match, or maybe he had one before, official match, right? Because he's ran out a bunch of times and beat people up. But we'll see what goes down with all of this, and it'll be on the CW. And I'm hyped on Evil right now. I just got to be honest, man. Otherwise, on NXT, it's just not hitting like AAA's the new, like NXT was giving off AAA vibes during the TNA fucking invasion stuff, and now AAA is just like the best show. So, speaking of the best show and the best guy, and I know that he's no Mystico, but Roman Reigns was spotted in public where fans quickly gathered around him and began chanting OTC. And you see people hitting the fucking deck, leaving their food behind, running to go get pictures with this guy, Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, the OT fucking C.
I will rule you.
An absolute star. We need to acknowledge him. He is absolutely becoming a household fucking name. People know who he is. Okay, I know wrestling for dirt bags and lily pickers, but people know who the fuck he is. And I know Dave Meltzer wants to go, oh, well, people didn't know who he was in the theater, Brian. Yeah, it was his first movie, Dave. You know?
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
And I know he wants to compare Mystico to Roman Reigns, okay? And Dave would be like, oh, Mystico in the streets of Mexico, they would fucking surround him and go. But this is some true celebrity. I don't want to say Muhammad Ali type shit, but we'll just say it. Fuck it. It's our OTC.
Acknowledge me.
It's some Ali type shit. It's some like major superstar type shit. Look at this. Like people on this patio having patio drinks. Patio lantern.
Out the way. Out the way. Out the way.
So that's all I'm saying, man. He's global. He's a superstar. He's no Mystico, but whatever. Mystico's also known as Botchkara. So what are we talking about here? So we have some controversies, okay, in the world of the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. One is really funny. One is a little more serious. We're about to get into it all. How are you guys enjoying Dynamite? Let me know in the chat. And speaking of lucha legends and legends in the game, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho. She's a good girl gone bad. The best love I've ever had. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some legal news. Brandon Thirsty Thurston posted this the other day. He says plaintiffs in class action lawsuit over WWE's move of PLEs to ESPN streaming point to the separate merger lawsuit for why Discovery should not be stayed. They argue WWE can't be trusted to preserve evidence, pointing to recent ruling against Nick Khan for destroying evidence. And yeah, they're saying WWE can't be trusted to preserve any evidence and shit. So they're really going for the throat. ESPN and BAMTech have intervened. WWE has been asking the court to put Discovery on hold because they want to compel arbitration, citing the arbitration clause in the ESPN streaming user agreement. Earlier reporting when the case was filed. Plaintiffs cite WWE attorneys at April 21 hearing saying, but listen, Your Honor, there's no reason to believe that any documents are going to be destroyed or anything like that. What a shitty... No, Your Honor, don't look in there. There's surely nothing in there. Why would you even waste your time looking in there? Last week, court in merger case determined Nick and Vince failed to preserve while under legal holds WWE attorneys. And we don't think that there would be any prejudice to plaintiffs. Respectfully, given the litigation holds will be in place, there's just no reason to believe that evidence is going to be destroyed or witnesses are going to disappear. And then here's this whole thing here from Post Wrestling. So Thurston's just licking his chops with this. He fucking loves this, buddy. You know, the most interaction, the least boring he can be is when he's trying to felt WWE with their lawsuits and whatnot. But it is kind of like shystery on WWE's end. They were using Signal, the Signal app, and then they're like, fucking, yeah, there's no reason to think we destroyed evidence. And then the courts are like, you destroyed evidence, allegedly. And then they're like, oh, shit. So who fucking knows? And then now the court also ruled that, I guess, like, or the judge ruled that whatever the plaintiffs say happened in these like 3 to 5 circumstances where there's no evidence, the judge will like take it at face value because they have reason to believe that. And I'm wording this all wrong, but that's essentially like they're going to just believe the hearsay because there's evidence that they use Signal where certain messages would prove some shit that is claimed happened, and they don't have receipts for it, you know? So I don't know. Vince just fucked everybody, you know? It's really Vince. And like everyone's going to have to take the stand, dude. Stephanie, Triple H, all these motherfuckers. So, you know, Thirsty Thurston just loves it. So the monetary damages the plaintiffs are seeking in the WWE shareholders lawsuit range between $466 and $957 million. I would love 1 million, please. Like, fuck.
Wrestling's not fake!
They want $1 billion. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Like, guys, fuck me. Imagine what that's enough millions for everyone watching the show to get a goddamn $1 million. You know? And it's just crazy. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't think they'll get $1 billion, but like even on the low end, they want $466 million. Like, you know how much money that is? All these fucking monies that go around.
You know, poor people don't like AEW.
And we all just want a piece of it, man. God damn. It's So, yeah, they're pretty well fucked there. They're going to, I don't know. We'll see what happens with all of that. But in other controversial news, okay, WWE 2K26. Now, we've talked about this game a few times. I play it. I was playing it a little bit today. I checked out La Parka quick. I haven't had a chance to try out like Tori Wilson or any of the other DLCs from today, but happy gaming to those of you who are out there. And basically they released this ringside pass, the RSP, and they released a thing called the premium pass. And there's also a glitch too. Like if you think you paid for the premium pass, at least on Xbox, and I was talking with Husey about this earlier. Shout him out. And if you think you paid for the premium pass and you're not seeing it, and it's like locked for some reason, and you're like, what the fuck? What a rip. Just go and check the store, and you have to manually click install this, even though you already own it. It is so fucking stupid. Now, this game rules. It's super fun. It's fucking awesome. It really is. But what isn't fun is like, okay, I got to grind out these tiers. Like, nobody wants tiers in a wrestling game. Or if it is tiers, just make it like some side thing where you get RXP from doing, or you build towards it. Like, you can't lock characters behind there and shit is the point I'm making. Now, they've already had to make multiple adjustments. Like, if you just want to have, like, here's tiers and you unlock different banners and stuff for, like, other game modes, like aesthetics or whatever. Okay, that's fucking cool, I guess. I mean, that's fine, but you can't lock, like, real content. Like, Michael Jordan, if I buy NBA 2K26, Magic Johnson isn't fucking locked behind I got to grind a season pass. And that's the problem with this 2K game. They want it to be sports simulation, but then they want to fuck around and make it like Fortnite at the same time. And, you know, put fucking 4 Roman Reigns with different fucking colored tattoos, and they want to put like Borderlands CM Punk in the game and all this bullshit. It's like, people don't want this garbage. 2K20 garbage. No one wants this. And I shouldn't have to. If it's Solo Sokoa the year 2022, that should just be in the fucking game. Okay? That's fucking stupid if you want me to grind to unlock that. Now, if you want me to grind the game and then take my WWE bucks to the Superstar store, dig diggity dog, and I gotta pay 400 grand for the hoe, that's fine. You know, yeah, I'll buy some fucking legends from days of old or whatever, but like Matt Cardona, that should just be in the fucking game. Like, what are we doing here? It's the Monday Night Wars edition. They didn't reach out and get Conan. He fucking works for you guys. You guys didn't get Conan in the fucking game.
Conan.
You guys didn't get fucking Disco Inferno is not in the game and shit. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's actually mental. And a lot of people were coping about this. A lot of people are like, no, it's actually not. And yes, I grind out. You guys saw me playing. I play on twitch.tv/Pro Wrestle Times. And I also uploaded over to the Pro Wrestle Times channel. We're going to do the B block as well this week. Okay. And for the WWE Championship. But that aside, you guys see me playing on legend mode and shit. Like, yes, I grind out the fucking RSP really quickly. I do. And it's not like so bothersome to me where I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, but it is annoying. It's like, dude, with tax, the game costs like $220 to pre-order the Monday Night War edition or whatever in Canada. Like, that's too much money. Like, I'm skipping 2K27 if it's not like a drastic improvement and change. I can't believe they even announced 2K27. If I was them, I would just keep dropping shit on 2K26 and just take a year off, and then 2K28, they should come out with another game. And then be like, or fuck it, man, you wait till 2K30. No, that's too long. But 2K28, they come out with another one, and then that's where it's updated. And like, because at that point, some of the factions, I'm sure, will have broken up and right? And the game rules, though. The thumbtacks rule, the fucking cage match. There's some dude, his name's Marty M. Look him up on, if you're on console, and he made like barbed wire death match arenas and shit. It's so fun. The brawls and the scrapyard are fun. You know, next year, hopefully they have like, obviously the scrapyard level, but then maybe they add like a Undertaker's Boneyard or the Broken Matt Hardy universe. Maybe not that. The Hardys are in this game in one of the DLCs, but you know, maybe they can keep adding like fun, these unique like fucking areas to brawl in and stuff. Like, all that stuff's good. It's good shit. I really do enjoy the game, but it, like, they are gouging, like my faction trying to gouge. Nobody likes my faction. Nobody wants to play my faction. If you want to have a story mode where someone like goes around the world, do it in My Rise. Like, you know, have it, okay, you start on the Indies, then you go to Japan, and then or Mexico, and then you train there for a while, and then you fucking decide whether you go back to the Indies, or maybe you want to go to TNA, or maybe you want to go to WWE and test your hand at NXT, whatever. Like, there's a way to do it where you can like make it interesting and sort of sports based, but arcadey and shit like that. Because even the My Rise, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, like the story mode, those are kind of lame. Like they have this one's not so good, and then like with the showcase mode, brother, I don't need 15 CM Punks in the fucking game. Like I get it. Oh, it's the Monday Night War edition. I get it. You do the showcase, it's featured one wrestler. But it's like the Monday Night War edition and the Attitude Era edition. It was just such a money grab. It's like, why isn't the showcase like epic moments from the Monday Night Wars and stuff? I just don't understand what they were thinking. But anyways, this game started out pretty much as being like a royal botch, and they're trying to make up for it. So the ringside pass is easier to grind. You get more XP quicker. They made it only like, I think 30 tiers or something instead of fucking 40. You get the DLC. They had changed it because originally, even though it's the DLC pack, so let's say this pack was Tori Wilson, Cardona, La Parka, and Brian Pillman, right? So in the first DLC pack they dropped, you had to fucking like rank up to unlock the DLCs that you already bought. It's like, what the fuck, man? No, I should just get them right away. Like, I shouldn't even have to wait. Because, man, 2K, they release DLCs like 2 months before the new game comes out. And they're releasing fucking the final DLC pack. It's like, I should just get them all up front if I pre-ordered the shit or whatever. It's so stupid. But anyways, they fixed that. So now you just get all the DLC up front. They had to give people 20 free tiers and stuff like this. So anyways, this guy was asked about it. Okay, his name's Strauss Zelnick, and discussing WWE 2K26 and the WWE 2K franchise. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick says there are ongoing opportunities to improve the quality of the game and to give consumers more of what they want. We're very proud of the Metacritic score. So again, the Metacritic score, like you pay IGN to give you a good review. You give this site access at the fucking launch of the game, and then they just glaze your balls. None of the real fucking people, like what's the status, and like some of these other channels get invited to these things, you know, like the people who really fucking put 2K on their back. And the community creations, they've just fucked with community creators, and they're the ones, like, they're the lifeblood of the game, dude. I have the Natural Born Thrillers. Do you know how dope it was to go see Sean Stasiak, Sean O'Hare, Mark Jindrak, and Chuck fucking Palumbo all made look like they were designed in-game? Better facial renders than like some of the ones in the fucking game for the WWE guys. You know what I'm saying? I got Shane Douglas and Chris Candido and fucking Tammy Sitch, dude. Okay, fucking downloaded the Triple Threat, waiting for fucking Bam Bam Bigelow to he's in a DLC pack, I think. But you know, the community creations like keep these games fucking fun too. Like, okay, the roster, oh, they fucking I want the prototype. I gotta fucking get a My Faction card. Well, in the meantime, I'm distracted playing with fucking, I downloaded the Undisputed Era, and they're in a War Games match with the Natural Born Thrillers or the Four Horsemen, you know, and I'm fucking busy right now. So that rules, right? But this guy goes on and he says, I do think that we can give consumers more of what they want. And I know our team at Visual Concepts always wants to do better. We're never in the business of patting ourselves on the back. We believe that arrogance is the enemy of continued success. Now, here's the thing. There's this one guy named Cornell G. He's on Twitter, and he's like, people are giving him so much shit, but at least he's out there like answering questions and saying like, you know, here's what we're trying to do. Here's what we're trying to do better. We're going to fix this, da-da-da-da-da. But also they laid off a bunch of people recently, and 2K, the WWE department got hit hard at 2K, and there was allegedly a lot of finger pointing going on about the ringside pass situation. And so this guy here, Strauss, what's his name? Zelnick, goes, and I think that title could be double or triple the size that it is, as long as we delight customers and as long as we give them something new and not expected that's consistent with the brand that they love. That's our job. And he told that to IGN. The dirt sheets of fucking video games. So how do we accomplish this, guys? Here is Strauss Zelnick, who was added today along with the DLC pack. They included this motherfucker in the game. So how do we give the fans what they want? What does everybody want? They put this guy in the fucking game. The guy who was talking to IGN, the Take Two, he put himself in the fucking game. Okay? And here's his full entrance that includes a new entrance animation. So they don't even have unique entrance animations for the legends and shit. They can't even be bothered to do it. But they make this guy his own entrance animation. And they added My Way by Frank Sinatra as his music. And no, you cannot use the song as it's exclusive to him. So you can't play it. You can't fucking use it on a wrestler. You can't use it for a show, nothing. It's just exclusive to his character, and they paid the money for that. So this guy paid real money for fucking My Way by Frank Sinatra, and he fucking put himself in the game, dude. And this is what this guy thinks is going to save. Look at this entrance. Look at this entrance. This is a more epic entrance than... When the game came out, they fucking were like, yo, Tiffy Stratton's entrance is wrong, and they had to fucking fix her entrance. This guy gets the program, and he gets his whole own thing. Like, whatever. You need jobber managers. Like, I'm not mad when Baron Blade or whatever is in the fucking, I'll use him as a manager. This guy, I'll use him as a manager, I guess. But, like, what the fuck? He put himself in the fucking game, this guy. And I'm just sitting here like, what are we fucking doing? Like, honestly, who is this game for? Is it just for you guys? Again, he's like, we don't pat ourselves on the back. It really seems like you guys do.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
We want to give fans what they want, and we don't believe in patting ourselves on the back. And
Sometimes
then at the
in
same
life,
time,
you gotta be a hoe.
Like, I just think that's straight garbage. This guy gets his own entrance, like a primo face scan. They had to fix Oba's hair. They had to create a whole new model with Oba's hair fixed and shit. It's garbage, man. I don't get it. But the game is really fun and good. And they did up it to 200 create a superstar slots. So, like, and also alternate attires don't count as create a superstar slot. So you can get, like, the whole fucking NW. You can give everybody NWO attires, and you can fucking download a bunch of like, I got Taka Michinoku and fucking Sho Funaki and Tajiri, and I got Jushin Thunder. I got all the Japanese dudes. I got a bunch of people downloaded, right? And community creations are on it. But that's fucked. That's just like actually one of the most cooked things I've ever seen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Worldwide Wrestling. So guys, we are going to do some AEW news. Up next here. Let's get this in a folder real quick. We have live Dynamite updates here. And I just want to put these in the folder so we're just not all over the place. Bickety boom. So let's see here. Yeah, we are going to do some AEW's news. And there's no Tone Cringe, man. He wasn't being cringe on his socials lately, unfortunately. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into my favorite segment, a personal favorite segment of mine, and it is called AEW News, the best guys, Tony Khan, and we're all over the place with the sounds because they're out of order. Some of them still, for the most part, and the Ichi Nissan Da definitely is. It is time for AEW News, ladies and germs. So, AEW revealed that breaking news, AEW will have its first, and this was last week, they will have its first ever survival of the fittest match to crown a new TBS champion on the July 1st episode of AEW Dynamite. And this is for the women. Might be the first women's, maybe they had one women's survival of the fittest previously, but again, it's an ROH gimmick. And then Moxley's there looking like a schlub. And let's just listen to Tony Schiavone here. Tony Schiavone's going to break it down.
About the TBS title that was vacated because of the injury to Willow Nightingale. Well, over the next month, we are going to have a series of 6 matches, and the 6 winners will go on into a match that it can only be called the survival of the fitness match. You have seen it on Ring of Honor, Nigel.
Wait. Did he just call it survival of the fitness? I swear he just called it survival of the fitness. Wait, let's go back. Listen, everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet.
The survival of the fitness match.
He called it survival of the fitness. It's fucking survival of the fittest there, buddy. And also,
it's great.
If that were the case, then obviously none other than who would win it? Survival of the fitness. Who's the most fitnessy? Mike Bailey would win it. No, I don't know.
You've seen it on Ring of Honor, Nigel.
Ring of Honor, a company that made the style famous. 6 men compete, and whoever wins that.
So it's just a 6-man scramble. It may be elimination. I'm not sure. Now, on an ROH show, it was like Supercard 2 years ago or a year ago or some shit. Or maybe it was one of the ROH pay-per-views, and I watched it, and I came on PWT Live Show, and I told you guys, I was like, listen, Tone actually booked it really well, and Mark Davis was in it and shit, so hopefully he fucking can. I don't know, but they're showing highlights of all the dudes, and it's the women are competing in it. And they've done it in ROH a bunch, so... Oh, yeah, there you go. See, the women were
San Diego, when we're there on a Wednesday night for a Dynamite.
So, yeah, the winner will be the TBS champion, I guess. I mean, if that excites you guys. So again, this guy goes, it's not a tournament. Learn the damn difference. And again, it is kind of a tournament. So the problem with another AEW tournament, and shout out No DQ. The problem is No DQ follows and like the most sickoiest of the sickos, and they fucking engage with them and they align with them a lot of the fucking time. So this guy, again, they get ratioed because they go, the problem with another AEW tournament. It's not a tournament. Learn the damn difference. Sickos just eat you up, even if you're one of them. So then they post this. Breaking news, AEW will host their Survival of the Fittest tournament to crown a new TBS champion. Which 6 competitors battling to be the next face of TBS, sorry guys, in the finals on July 1st. So there you go, man. They're going to have qualifier matches, and then the 6 who survive those then make it to the survival of the fittest match, and that's pretty fucking cooked. I'm tired of tournaments right now, and it's at the same time as the men's and women's Owen Hart tournament. Okay, so like we need a break from this. We need something new. We need something unique. We need something fresh. We need something fun and exciting. Okay, and it's just not here with these tournaments. But speaking of fun and exciting and fresh, Mercedes Moné, the CEO, is the wild card. She officially returned here tonight at AEW Dynamite. So is this a remixed version of her song? It's awesome to see her back. She looks really good. I think that they need this before All In. And again, she ditched all of those indie titles, went away for a while, and the fans are going to embrace her. And she's going to be a babyface. And I think now, after she dropped all those indie titles and the ROH title and the TBS title, it's time she wins the Women's World championship at All In. I think you crown her there and have a moment and have money rain from the sky or whatever the fuck, diamonds. And she won. It's good that she's back. It seems like her music is remixed. Awesome. Her Tron looks cool. She looks like $1 million and they need her for All In. So good for her. Am I optimistic about the booking? Not so much, but I think this run, she's going to dedicate way more time. Like at Forbidden Door, she'll probably have like a match with a Joshi or something because she loves doing shit like that. But I think she's going to dedicate, like she got that indie run like she promised out of her system. And again, shout her out. Like Danielson was talking all this shit about going to Japan and he went what, like once? Right? And Monet talked all that shit about I'm going to go and like make wrestling better and work the indies and I'm going to wrestle everybody. And she fucking did do that. Okay. So I don't know, man. I just take the promoters at their word. She helped blow up some fucking indie spots. They were selling more tickets. Is it still going now? Doubtful. But she showed up all over the world, held all these titles, then dropped all the fucking titles. Now, were the titles not utilized? Was she fighting to get them on TV and Dynamite? It seemed like Tone didn't really, they could have done a way better job of explaining like all the places she's been and what each of these titles were and why they fucking mattered. Instead of just her coming out with all these fucking belts when everybody comes out with a bunch of fucking belts in AEW. None of it really matters, but I mean, she did drop them. She didn't just vacate them all. She vacated the last one, the Malaysian one or whatever, but also that one girl that she was supposed to wrestle for the title fucking is scouted, is like ID'd by WWE. So I'm sure it had something to do with that. Who knows? But all I'm saying is this. She vacated one of them. She went and dropped all of the other titles. So you have to give her credit for that. I absolutely give her credit for that. Sometimes in life you gotta be a hoe. And she proved a lot of people wrong. And with the time off, she can come back and be somewhat of a baby face, at least embraced by the crowd. Now, I know she's a fucking heel and like naturally a heel and all of that, but it could just be the time everyone embraces her, or she just goes nuclear on everybody leading into All In. Because we don't know. With Tone's booking too, it's rocky. Like she could come back, be a bitch, and then switch it up after Forbidden Door. And Tone loves to just do last minute for All In. So she could definitely win the women's title. And here's the other thing too. She did her belt collector thing. They never gave her the AEW Women's World. That I think was smart booking. She dropped those other titles. Now she's going to win the world finally. And she should carry it for a long time. She should go on an Athena run with it until they get a lady who's really over. Now I'll say this, Tekla's a fucking heel and she's been healing and she's going to continue to heal and talk shit to the crowd. And it's going to be Monet versus those three, the Toxic Triangle or the Toxic Spiders or whatever the fuck. So I think that's what the All In match is going to be, and Mercedes is going to win that shit. So, and she's looking really good. So we move along, and also Kevin Knight. Speaking of shocking moments, Kevin Knight again, because Tone doesn't know what to do with any heels. And it is cool. Like the Callis family is cool because it's just like a million bad guys hanging out. I don't think that's necessarily like a bad thing. I think like the concept is okay. And, you have this one faction of like a million dudes who kind of have each other's backs, but it's pretty much just all the heels on the show. Unless you count the Death Riders heels, but they're like kind of heels, kind of comedy guys, kind of fucking Moxley pretending to be like a good guy. It's the worst booking ever. Tony Khan's the worst booker ever, but Tone has no idea. So what does he do? Kevin Knight is the newest member of the Callis family he retained the TNT title. He's the newest member of the Callis family.
In front of 15,000 people in Queens, Kevin Knight with Darby Allin.
And honestly, they flipped him heel, and then he joins the Callis family, but he was cutting promos trying to be all like, oh, and now I'm just this different guy and I'm a heel. It's so amateurish in Bush League. You didn't talk like that before, bruv. Okay. The reason Roman works is because when he was a fucking babyface and being shoved down everyone's throats, he beat Undertaker, walked in the ring, they booed him for 8 minutes, and he went, "This is my yard, bitch," or "This is my yard now." Then he dropped the mic and walked out. That's the same energy, the same type of promo, the same type of shit he does. Even Cena, the way Cena talks is the way he talks, whether he's shitting on the crowd. He's just not all of a sudden like, "And you people stink and I don't like you." So Kevin Knight goes from being one of these guys who's like, "Yeah, man, me and Mike Bailey, we're so happy to be here," and everything. Now he's all like, "And let me tell you, fuck you and stuff." And it's like, dude, this is brutal, man. Like, this is where people need NXT. It's crazy. Like, no, you're not just like a different guy. It's being heel needs to be like, there's got to be a reason, not just now I'm a bad guy and I don't like Darby now because we trained together all those years ago and you surpassed me and I made a choice for. It's got to be like, the reason matters. So it's the same thing with Chad Gable. Everyone's like, "Oh, you should go to AEW." Someone said to me, Chad Gable's wrestling is AEW based. He should, in fairness, Chad Gable, his wrestling is AEW based, but he's better in WWE. But I'm still just sitting there like, what the fuck does his wrestling is AEW based mean? You know, I don't even, it's just people say such dumb things sometimes. And you're like, what the fuck? You guys just like want him to go German suplex guys on Collision instead of on AAA. It just doesn't make any sense. So with Kevin Knight, again, it's just the same thing. Like, all right, now you're just a bad guy. There's no like rhyme or reason, right? The reason everyone's glazing Gable right now is because of the fucking character he did. After everyone tried to sabotage it and all the cheat sheets tried to shit on it and virtue signal about it, now it's fucking, oh my God, he should go to the Dubs. Kevin Knight, he's just a bad guy with Callis family. Okay, now, do the Callis family do some good shit? Yes. Is this the worst thing for him? No. Is this the same thing 100 people have fucking done? Yes. Okay. Yes. And the Callis family, nothing compelling has really come of it. They just added a bunch of members. And then they just go out and have matches and are the bad guys. Now, that's not the worst thing in the world, but who's the guy who's like, okay, the Callis family is that's my rogues gallery, and I'm going to take them out one by one, and I'm going to fucking, go to war with them, and it's going to be a year-long feud where, some of the Callis family guys are distracted by certain things, but they're fucking headhunting me. And I'm, like you can build a guy. You could have used Kevin Knight to feud with all these guys and built him up over that TNT title. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have fucking had him like taking them out one by one and being like, yo, and they would get him over as like a superhero of fucking the baby face, but they flipped him heel. I'm not mad at that part, but it's just what they're doing with him. Okay, you're in the Callis family, I guess.
Strapped UFO.
Okay, you're just a bad guy now who acts cocky and fucking, all right. So shout out Kevin Knight. He's doing the damn thing. Speaking of people doing the damn thing, man. Mick Foley, okay, the hardcore legend Mick Foley. He had this to say, and he has recently made waves and controversy in the IWC because he signed with AEW officially. He'll be on more pre-shows. A lot of people think they are going to try and get him in a hardcore match with MJF or somebody. I didn't think they'd do that. I thought he'd get involved in the match and then maybe like do a bump off the apron through a table. Like not even anything crazy, like just where MJF like pushes him off the apron and then Mick could just like, lean back and fall into a table and he's heavy enough it'll break type shit, and he'd know how to sell it. He'd bump it well, and I don't want to see him do that. I thought he would do something like that at All In, right? Like I thought they would have him get involved in some way to where like, MJF pushes him into some shit or something, and it's like, oh fuck. And then it just like gets Darby angry, and then like we don't see a match with Mick. JJ Alexander, friend of the show, And I agree. Someone online was like, dude, you're inventing this in your head and getting mad about it, like they haven't done it yet and you're upset about it. And I kind of agree with that because it's like, I don't know if they're going to go there. MJF versus Mick Foley in a hardcore match. Like, where the fuck do they even do that between now and All In? I just don't know where they would do that. And I don't think that's going to be the case. So I don't really care about that. But what I do care about is Mick Foley doing the virtue signaling thing when it comes to WWE and then taking money, literally getting paid right now by people who fucking give money to Trump and gave money to Trump and stuff like this, right? So it's not about Trump. It's just you're marking in a money mark. I wish these fucking guys would be honest about this, man. But Mick Foley talked about AEW and he says, the energy backstage reminds me of the way WWE felt during the Attitude Era. Bang, bang. And he also was like, he said something about the roster, like AEW does the mid-card way better. Do I have that bookmarked? I may. Yes, I have that bookmarked here. So, Foley says this, like, the energy reminds me of the way WWE felt during the Attitude Era. Now, we've heard this a million times before. Eventually, you get pissed off and want to leave, or you're Mick Foley and you're there so little that it doesn't matter. So, good for Mick. I'm not mad at him getting money, but it's just when he starts saying dumb shit. So, again, I don't expect, like, Mick is, I think, kind of right about this part here. And he talks about the mid-card. And I just want to point out that the mid-card in AEW, it all feels like the mid-card. That's the problem. Like, all the tippy-top people, unless you're ex-WWE, feel like they've been dragged down to mid-card level. And then all of the jobbers and mid-lower guys are all elevated by going to the limit with people and shit. And they seem like mid-carders too. Like, you don't know. Like, Tony Nese could show, I don't even know if he still works at the company, but he could just like randomly have a match on Collision, go to the limit, get a win over, pull the Queen Aminata where he just like gets a win over someone, and then he fucking gets a title shot so that he can lose because Tone just wants to book a title match for the city he's from or whatever the fuck that's coming up this last minute. Oh, Tony Nese is here, so he'll just quickly win a match and then get a title shot and lose. And I call that the Queen Aminata because that's what she's used for, right? She's wins the number one contendership, gets the title shot, fucking loses it. It's like the same thing over and over. So everybody feels like mid-card there. That's the fucking problem. All the upper guys feel like they've been lowered and all the lower guys feel like they get too much, and everybody goes to the limit. Everybody kicks out of each other's shit. You see random ROH guys who cut the line. The AEW title gets defended on fucking HOG wrestling on indies and shit. So it just all seems very mid-card. So yes, they are doing a better job with their mid-card, but that's because the whole show is like a mid-carder show pretty much. It feels like that. It feels like fucking TNA back in the day where it was like, okay, these guys are all would be mid-card and fucking, and not back in the day when it was really good, but like after that shit. Yes, you have like an AJ Styles or maybe a Moose. A lot of people think Moose is like a mid-carder, but yes, there's a Josh Alexander would float through or whatever the fuck. And yes, in AEW, do you have like some ex-WWE guys? Yes. Do you have fucking MJF, who's like an outlier and shit? Yes. But did he just go to the limit to open the show with Roosh? Yes. Is Roosh presented as a top guy? No, he's kind of like a mid-lower guy. He goes to the limit in a bloody bloodbath match and almost wins the world title. Well, what does that do for MJF? It just lowers him, bro. And they don't understand this. And all this is doing is hurting MJF, having him defend every week again. Like Darby was just doing that. Let's mix it up. Let's have MJF trying not to defend his title. You got to sign a contract, bud. You got to weigh less than 175 pounds, bud. If you're over the weight limit, you can't do, like let's see him do slimy shit like that to try and get out of matches and shit, right? But here, shout out the Ariel Helwani Show. Here's Mick Foley telling his opinion, I guess. So that's my opinion on it. Here is Mick Foley giving his opinion on what he thinks AEW does well with the mid-card.
As far as your role now, what is it? You showed up on the pre-show, you had the deal with Renee and Darby and MJF. What is your role in AEW?
Well, I think my role is to be the Swiss Army knife of AEW, and I'll work in wherever I can and wherever they need me best. And there's quite a few things I can do. I can host those shows with Renee. Renee's so much fun to work with. I think I could do a good job on publicity for being sent out a day or two early to get some publicity. I believe I could take on a managerial role for a handful of misfit baby faces
I love that.
or heels, and try to take some of the guys in the middle.
See, now imagine if they didn't just throw the conglomeration together just because Tone's bad at booking, and then they waited for the opportunity where you have a Mick Foley, and then you go, okay, Mick, you're like multiple personalities, and you're like, he just said it, a group of misfits, and he could be the manager and shit. Yeah. Should have waited, and then you put the group together around Mick, and then we go, well, they're a fucking misfit team, but it's fucking Mick. Timing is everything. That's all I'll say.
Card and give them a little boost up a little closer.
Tone will hear this and just put Mick with the conglomeration. And it'll be like, well, you should have did that first,
The top of the card. One thing I want to say, Ariel, is that this is one of the first things I said to Tony, is that AEW has done a really good job of making their mid-card mean something. And that's one place where I will compare them, the two companies, and say they do a much better job in the mid-card.
Now let's think about it. Like, is it a better job? Like, is Ciampa versus who he's been fighting, and like who's in the mid-card right now? Finger Shay. Maybe, yeah. Like, I think they have their mid-card, mid-lower guys go to the limit with like top guys, top guys, Brian. And yeah, so the water's muddied a bit. Like, and I'm not saying MJF should squish Roosh, but like, how about Roosh is on TV a little while, a bunch more, way more, and like we learn more about him before just tonight he gets an awesome package where you're rooting for him and then he just fucking loses.
I think there's just a little bit more pride. I think, going back to the way WWE.
And is that but here's the thing, is that better than like what's mid-card? Carmelo Hayes and Trick Willie and fucking, I don't know, man. Maybe the gingerbread stuff was ass, but mid-card, so like Penta and fucking, and Rusev and shit, maybe it's better. I don't think anybody's cooking harder than Penta right now. Is Obafemi, I mean, he's kind of like a top, I'd say he's a top guy, even though it's not like world title contention yet, fighting Brock and shit. Like, he's already a top fucking guy. Now, I know some people would argue that and be like, oh, come on now, Phil, that's not very fair. It's his rookie year. But he, I mean, he's being presented and used like a fucking guy who's up there, So, yeah, I don't know. The mid guys, maybe, but like, it wouldn't the El Grandes be considered mid too, like on the main roster? I'm not sure. It's like there's a bunch of mid women as well, so maybe better than like Julia and Chelsea Green and Tiff Stratton right now and stuff. Sure.
He did things. They would build a tag team for
Miz and Kit Wilson and Danhausen cook anything AEW's doing.
2-3 years, have them win the tag team title multiple times, and then two big stars who'd never teamed would face the tag team and destroy them, showing you that the tag team was never that important to begin with. That would be the message that I would get as a fan.
Yeah, but tag teams and trios aren't important at all in AEW either. So you actually got to watch the show to know that, Mick, unfortunately. Tag teams don't matter. They don't give a fuck about the women's or the men's tag divisions. Right now, it seems like, okay, Edge and Christian and FTR had a match, and Edge and Christian are your tag champs, so they care about the tag. They really don't, though. They really fucking don't. It's just the same. It's just FTR is still there. Like, on top, they made no new teams. They fumbled a bunch. And then when you factor in the trios, bro, they don't give a fuck. And that's my problem too. Everyone's like, oh, well, the tag division. Okay, well, what about an AEW? And not to do what aboutism, but Mick is he's doing it right now. He's comparing the two. So let's compare the two. What about the trios division? Like everyone's like, well, the tag division Tone treats better. Okay, maybe debatable, but so you just don't care about the fucking trios. That's a dead division where they literally brought in 3 guys called the Dogs, and they're like they just like won the trios belts, dropped them a day later, and there's no like storyline between 2 trioses. They're just belts that exist so Tone can do title matches because he's a lazy booker. It's like the UFC. It's so funny too because the UFC gets accused of the same thing. Oh, they'll just bring the BMF title out there because they just need a title to make it a fucking main event, and they're trying to sell people on shit. That's what Tone does, but no, the same criticisms don't apply. It's like, fuck that.
And I don't think you see that type of thing. That was one of the things that drew me into AEW, because I had, as long as we were going with a Friends reference, I was taking a break from wrestling for a couple of years. My children were all grown-ups, and they were.
But you were just in the Invisible Man versus the Sandman.
No longer living in the house. And we all loved watching wrestling together. And when they weren't there, I found myself no longer drawn to it. And then I started hearing some waves about AEW, about WWE as well. And I started tuning into both shows. And
Paul Walter Hauser was like, Mick Foley's a top 10 wrestler of all time. And if you don't think so, then you just don't know much about the business.
Shut up, bitch!
And like Paul Walter Hauser's going full sicko. Like, buddy, you can't tell people they're not this and that. That's like 5-6-year-old sicko shit that you're parroting now. And it's like, you can't tell people you just don't like wrestling if you don't like Double or Nothing. No, that's not true. Okay? It's the same thing as if one of these Joshi apartment wrestling marks was like, no, man, you just don't like it if you don't like this and you just don't like pro wrestling. It's like, no, you don't get to say that. And you don't get to go, if you disagree objectively, Mick Foley's a top 10 wrestler. And if you don't agree, you don't know anything about the business. What? Top 10 on the mic? Debatable. Top 10 in ring? Definitely not. Top 10 creating like holy shit moments? Yeah, I'd put him. I bet you he'd rate. Top 10 like coming up with gimmicks and shit? Maybe, yeah. Maybe he pulled off 3 different distinct gimmicks that were like the same but different enough to where they fucking worked and main evented and shit. Yep, maybe I'd give him that. But top 10 like all time, like what, draw? As a draw? What the fuck you talking about? You know? How many shirts did fucking Mankind sell? It's just crazy. So it's like such a subjective thing too, because like, what do you rate personally? What do you rate? Like, some people don't rate, okay, he jumped off the cell. Oh, you don't know much about wrestling if you don't agree. Okay, well, Ric Flair disagrees with you. Who knows more about wrestling, Paul Walter Hauser? You or Ric Flair? You know what I'm saying? And he disagrees with you. So don't say dumb, low IQ. This shit pisses me off when people do this
Sometimes
shit.
in life, you got to be a hoe.
Don't say stupid, low IQ, dumb, pompous, Hollywood, fucking rich guy, elitist. You just don't. Shut the fuck up.
Idiot.
Sorry, I'm going off, dude. But for real, like, you don't get to tell people they don't know shit. Okay, so you're telling Ric Flair he doesn't know shit. Like, fucking check yourself before you wreck yourself. So Mick Foley opens up about his decision to distance himself from WWE due to their association with President Trump. And shout out the Ariel Helwani Show, by the way. And I quote tweeted this, and I was like, and because Mick Foley says silence is complicit. I'm like, silence is complicit with what? With what? With what? What the fuck are you talking about? And I wrote, you're taking money from people who gave Donald Trump money to get him in office right this very second. These rich boomers need to shut the fuck up and just be honest for once. Like, I'm sorry, it's what it is, man. You have all these fucking celebrities and goofballs out there saying the most dumb, shit and trying to be all political. It's like, you're rich, shut the fuck up. You don't even deal with daily shit. Man, gas is through the fucking roof and stuff. Like, you ain't struggling to eat, bro. Shut the fuck up. And it's not like you can't have an opinion, but like, bro, silence is complicit. Silence in what? In what? There's a war going on. Okay, that's every fucking president. There's wars going on and shit. What is the silence complicit? Don't virtue signal. But these rich fucking boomers, they all virtue signal all the time. Whichever way you want to go, right? Like, there's fucking snowflakes on both sides of the aisle, okay? It's not like it's a right or left thing. It's fucking, they all do this shit. And my problem is, like, what are you talking about, buddy? Just admit you're going to take some money and you've wrestled in every Fed and you think it would be cool to wrestle in AEW. And Mick's like, oh, I'm on the Legends deal and shit. Yeah, you're in the video games and shit too. You're still taking that money. You left WWE. You didn't say, and don't put me in the upcoming games and shit, bud. They got all the faces of Foley in there. You're down to take that money. You're still on the Legends deal. You didn't give it up. You know, you're still going to take the fucking money from the action figures they make of you and all of this shit. You don't give a fuck. Don't pretend you care about that, man. You fucking don't. Like, shut up. So I don't know. I just think it's just a shield. People hide behind this shit to try and be like, well, it's a moral decision. No, it's not, man. You just want the money. Tone's going to give you a bunch of money. WWE will still work with, they're like, no hard feelings, whatever, go get your money. And then you're going to make it about this when it has nothing to do. I'm going to use my voice to what? Fucking what? The guy who's in office isn't going to be in office when he's done this fucking term. What do you just shut the fuck up? You know what I mean? So here's Mick Foley. He's gonna virtue.
And back in December, you did announce that.
And like, I don't care. Like, if people want to go, here's my opinion, and it's a political thing, I would accept that. But no, it's not, because you're taking money from Tone, and his family gives money to fucking Trump and them. Okay, so you don't actually care about that shit. You don't.
We're not going to re-sign with WWE as far as your Legends deal is concerned, and you wanted to kind of sever ties and take a break, given their association, and correct me if I'm getting this wrong, with the current president. And so can I ask you about that decision? What led you to making that decision and announcing it to the world? Because it was massive news when you did.
Well, you know, everyone has to make the decision that feels right to them.
And again, I have to go off on this. So Tone's sitting there going, oh yeah, we can't wait to merge with Paramount. It's going to be great. Okay, so again, Ellison, Ari Emanuel, sitting front row at the UFC with Donald Trump and fucking Elon Musk and all of these people, and Kid Rock, they're all friends, asshole. Mick Foley, you asshole. People hear the dumb shit you're fucking saying and will go repeat this shit, and you have influence over people, and you think I'm doing the right thing. You just signed a deal with AEW. Tone's talking about, we can't wait to go to Paramount and be on the same network as UFC and shit. And you're going to be on Paramount with UFC. Are you going to do a walkout then? Oh, silence is complicit. I can't work with Paramount because they fuck with Trump. Are you mental, dude? It's just virtue signaling. It's fake and phony, and everyone's tired of this shit, bro. You're so 2000 and late with this fucking with this type of shit.
And
everyone's done with this type of shit. You know what I mean?
I sometimes describe someone's big break as being more like a series of little breaks, like a ball peen hammer on a windshield. You don't know which tap actually causes the crack, but without a multitude of them, that windshield's not cracking at all. So for me, it was the comments about Rob Reiner, just heartless, and unbelievably.
Yeah, that was fucked up. What Trump said was fucked up, and that's fucked up. And he says a lot of fucked up shit. Here's the thing. That's what made you leave WWE? What a fake, phony Hollywood. You're a fucking rich, fucking old dude. You have millions of dollars. What the fuck, man? Like, you know, you're just marking Tone in for more. That's all it is. He's using this as like a shield, as like the comments about Rob Reiner. Fucking, okay, what about like, I don't know. What about that has to do with WWE? Oh, they use Triple H to do health and fitness things. Okay. And What does that have to do with anything? It's crazy. You work for a company. They're about to go work with CBS, with fucking Paramount and shit. Literally, Tone's talking about he can't wait to do it. And those guys are friends with fucking Trump. So are you going to walk away because the Rob Reiner comment once is it just a 1-year deal? And as soon as they're done on TNT, you're out skis?
Cruel comments coming from the most powerful man in the world finding joy in how somebody died. I don't want to paraphrase, but belittling the man who just died.
Yeah, it was cooked. That was cooked to say some shit like that.
Somehow tying it into his own death, into
But
Reiner.
that's not an excuse for you to quit WWE and go mark Tone in for money when he's fucking scrambling, might not have a TV deal.
Dislike of Donald Trump, and for me that was
unless Mick Foley was told, because I've heard rumors Tone is working the boys, and people think it's weird. They're like, "Why are you lying to everyone? About this thing allegedly." In my opinion, in the cartoon land that isn't even real. It's a parallel universe. But maybe Tone told Mick, like, no, we're going to YouTube and my AEW or whatever, so you don't got to worry about it. Maybe, because maybe if Mick is really on, if that's really what he's, I don't know. Ariel should be asking these questions, though. Ariel's a fucking journalist, and he wants to start covering wrestling. You think you should fucking ask these questions? Well, Tone's bragging about going to Paramount, connect the dots there.
The ball peen hammer tap that broke the windshield. And I just think WWE had a very cozy relationship where there was definitely the illusion of a relationship there, of the perception.
Yeah, I was just going to say illusion. What the fuck? So it's not real, so you're a liar. But exactly, this is the thing. He's saying that was like a Freudian slip. He fucking is saying what reality, like there's an illusion that everybody wants to pretend. It's like, oh, and yes, okay, is Triple H tight with Trump? Sure. Gives a fuck, man. So Snoop Dogg and shit. You guys know this, right? Like fucking all those bitches on The View all would go to his Christmas parties and shit. They fucking talk about it. They talked about how they couldn't wait for him to run and be president and shit. Then he became president. Then it's like, oh, fuck this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're just a sheep following the fight. And I'm not saying like you got if you don't like some of his shit. I'm not saying that at all. You see it a lot right now. A lot of fucking the right wing, if you will, are fucking kind of turning on it. They're like, dude, we don't want to be in this war and shit that you're fucking. So that aside, I'm not a politbro, whatever. I'm very apolitical. You guys know this, but it's like all these people were watching the roast of Donald Trump and look at all the celebrities there who fucking all of a sudden are like, fuck this dude. All these years later, it's like, man, you went to his fucking Christmas parties and shit. Like, don't front. You're all just fucking faking the funk here.
I think when 5 different people are posing in the Oval Office and they've all received Stone Cold Star.
I would respect Mick Foley more if he said it's because the Vince McMahon shit. It makes me sick. You were fucking friends with Vince, buddy. Vince has been friends with Trump. The McMahon family has been friends with Trump. You didn't have a problem then? Just admit you're marking Tone in for money. This makes me sick. Mick, what you're doing.
That's a little cozy. And Ariel, I felt like even though I wasn't technically employed by the company, but because I had a Legends deal, because my name's been associated with WWE for over 30 years, that I was...
You never had a problem. They were homies with Trump the whole fucking time. You were all good with Trump when he was on the TV show. Yeah, but he wasn't president then and fucking blah, blah, blah. Okay? So you be president and then figure everything out 100% across the board where everyone loves you and you're perfect and the world's singing Kumbaya, holding fucking hands, sharing Triscuit crackers. It ain't going to fucking happen, buddy. It ain't going to be, you're the leader of the free world, dude. Someone's going to fucking, people are going to hate you, okay? Like, no matter who the fuck you are. People hate Obama and Biden and shit too. The fuck, you never had a problem with any of this before. It's just such fake. I can't even get through this clip. It pisses me off so much because it's so fucking phony. And you can tell he doesn't even believe the shit he's saying.
Complicit in my silence. And so I did speak up. I reached out to the head of talent relations, who I consider a friend, who I still write handwritten letters from Santa to every year, send the videos out. I don't brag about much, Ariel, but they are the best Santa videos in the business. And I can prove that if you ever want to have me on with showcase a couple of these videos. I take a lot of pride in them.
He starts talking about fucking Santa because he doesn't really believe what he's saying. He can't explain it. The way I'm like actually upset with this asshole, and I can just riff and come off the top, and and I'm passionate, and I'm being entertaining. At least I hope I am, and I'm fucking talking about this because I really feel this way about this situation. He doesn't really feel this way, or I'm fucking Santa Claus, and oh look, it's fucking a cat ran by, a bird flew by outside the window. Oh. Fuck, man.
And so basically, I give up the.
I'm a really good guy, guys. I also play Santa around Christmas time. I'm such a good guy, aren't I? Such a good guy. I'm such a good guy.
Out at the end of this month, I realized that by giving up 2 really easy, very high-paying jobs at WrestleMania week for WWE, that I had to work 24 hours on my own to make what I could have been 6. And I'm okay with that. So I'm good with my decision. Everyone, I think, has to make a decision that's right for them. And in my case, I just didn't want to be in a position where my grandchildren are asking what their grandfather was doing when things were really, tough. And I want my children to be able to say, this is what Grandpa did. So I made the move that I felt was right for me.
Tough for who, you millionaire son of a bitch? When times were tough for who? For you and your gated community and your daughter who just is makes money just like posting Instagram pics because she's your daughter? You know what I'm saying? Times are so tough. Fuck you, man.
I love that company. I'm not going to disparage.
Buy my groceries or shut the fuck up, Mick Foley.
Them. But it didn't seem like a good fit. Didn't seem like a fit that would allow me to look at myself in the mirror before I went to bed.
When you make that call and tell them that you'd like to do this and you feel this way, do they try to convince you to change your mind? Do they have a conversation, or is it just like, okay, thanks for the call and we'll talk down the line?
Well, the first one was I respect your stance, and I'll tell the people that I'll tell the people in charge. And then I did receive a call from someone really high up. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, but he was saying, well, Paul is just on the physical fitness, like the physical fitness, not the bureau, but
it's a committee, Mick. Holy fuck. How many chair shots does The Rock need to crack you one more fucking time so you remember it's the committee?
Whatever the name, the physical fitness group they have is. And he said, and Linda hasn't worked in WWE in, X amount of years. And I said, well, theoretically that's the case, but I could have sworn I saw Paul behind the president's shoulder when he was making.
Who gives a fuck? Who else was the fucking Stanley Cup winners or whatever? Like, who cares, bro? Who gives a fuck? Everybody who played for who won the fucking Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who played for the fucking Chargers or whatever. I forget who won the fucking Super Bowl. I'm pissed off right now. They're all fucking cancel them all. That's not, oh no. Tone owns a football team, bud, in Florida. Okay? You think Tone voted DeSantis or what? Who do you think Tone voted for, bud?
Foreign policy, which I think is true. And it's like whether Linda's been working for the company or not, her last name is McMahon and she's associated with the company. And then I said, come on, 5 people in that Oval Office took the stunner. And so he appreciated it. He did say he respected it. I didn't close the door forever. I said in my announcement, as long as this man's in office. I think more and more people are realizing that some of the things he's doing are just cruelty for the sake of cruelty and enriching himself. And his polls, I'm not here to talk politics. Let's skip this after here, but it is the reason I left WWE. I just wanted.
Yeah, and there's like there's like, if you guys pay attention online, there's like MAGA people turning on each other and shit. And, there's people on the right wing who are like, you got fucking Ben Shapiro versus, this guy, right? Like all these people who are advocating for Trump, they're all infighting and shit right now. Like he's not wrong about that, and again, I'm not trying to get political in any way, but it's just like, again, they phoned you and said, okay, Triple H is on the health committee. He's trying to make people healthy. Is that a bad fucking thing? I don't know, dude. He's telling kids to work out. I don't think that's a bad thing. And then Linda, they're like, she hasn't been with the company forever. And he's like, well, all these people took the stunner. You took the stunner. You took more stunners than all those people combined, Mick. So are you complicit? Like, that's a non-reason because you don't have a reason. The reason was what he just touched on for 1 second. Well, I thought about it, and if I worked 6 dates, I could make the same money with Tone if I made one. Oh, so you money marked a money mark. Okay.
Tell people.
Fucking admit that because we all know that's what it is, and you just slipped it in there so that you think I can't felt you for being like, oh, well, it's about the money. Well, I said it's about money. No, you fucking didn't. You skirted around, made up all this bullshit, started talking about Santa.
People who are listening that it's never too late to do the right thing. The best time to have made your voice heard would have been earlier, but the second best time is now. And if this guy, President of the United States, ratings dip into the teens, then maybe he'll be forced to make.
Mick, real quick, what would Dude Love say about this? Real quick, I don't think Cactus Jack agrees with you. A good old Southern boy, that Cactus Jack, right?
Some changes. Nobody wants to go down as the worst.
It's on the different aisle politically. Now, what does Cactus Jack think about Donald Trump?
President in the history of this country. So maybe I'm naive, but maybe you can appeal. If there are better angels of his nature, maybe they can still be appealed to. But I'm not so sure there are.
So someone go on Instagram and tag this motherfucker that where Tone and his family donated to Donald Trump. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. Oh, sorry, that just slipped out because that one irked me a little bit. Okay. And that was AEW news, ladies and gentlemen.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
And so is his bank account. What the fuck is my Ichi Nissan da?
He had Cuervo with him the whole time too.
His brain smashed to
obliterate.
Yeah. Oh boy. So hilarity. This is all hilarity. Guys, check out patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times for some exclusive stuff. Oh, a video just dropped on there today as well, and I forgot. This morning, a video dropped on the page. Okay, so make sure you guys go and check that out. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. There is bonus content on there that does not appear anywhere else. I just want to pin that. Okay. Looking good. So, up next on the show, we have Dirt Sheet Fails and we have Ratings Wars. We are going to get into Ratings Wars next, ladies and germs. Now, I did want to talk about, we might talk about it tonight. Maybe tonight or maybe we'll save it for Saturday. But like Niccolo Piccolo was trolling fucking Meltzer with like a Ricky Dozan bracelet and shit. I don't know. It's super funny. I didn't know what, I was going to put it in like Dave Meltzer dumb moment. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Maybe that's what we'll do. And we'll just scroll his timeline because there was so many things. I'm like, I can't bookmark every single one of these fucking things. And then also like Dave was melting down this week and it was just fucking, oh man, it was just like, I don't know, so much shit, there's so much shit to get into when it comes to Dave. But I was like, I don't know when to go over all of that and just laugh at it. We could do that sometime, maybe tonight. We'll see. Maybe we'll do that tonight. We'll see. Maybe Chad can convince me. So, let's get into, ladies and gentlemen, my new favorite segment. I think it's my absolute favorite segment of the show. I got to be honest. And it is called, and you guys already know it. And shout out Kick. Check me out on Kick as well. If I don't, or not if you're on YouTube. Stay on YouTube, but Kick. If you use Kick and you're like, oh, I'll check them out over there. Where the fuck are my war sounds? Yeah, sorry. Okay. I will get the rest of these organized. I swear to you. Dyslexia. Am I fucking? I cannot find it, dude. Oh my god.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
We're just gonna hit sound.
Poor people don't like AEW.
You stupid idiot.
Where the fuck is I don't know where the war sounds are. And it's gonna be impossible to ring the bell and shit too. Oh my god, this is the worst show ever. Let me see. Well, guys, this is called Ratings Wars, and I guess we're just gonna fucking lock everyone up. So let's start with WWE ratings, and we start with, well, let's actually move around the board here and start with NWA. So NWA posted this last week. Thank you, fans. Audience continues to grow for NWA Power airing on Comet. Now, nobody's verifying these. They're just saying this shit. Every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. The latest Nielsen numbers are in for NWA Power on Comet. After 4 weeks, viewership is up across the board since launch, especially among younger audiences. So they're looking at multiple key demos here. 72,000 people watching from 25 to 54, 138,000 watching ages 35 to 64, and then 204,000 people are watching 50 plus. So again, is this shit just on at nursing homes? Is this shit just on like in the background at the fucking barber shop, or like what's going on? I have no idea how they're doing these types of numbers, but they're kicking TNA's ass if we're to believe these. Now, nobody's corroborating this shit. Nobody's saying it's true. It's all allegedly, right? And I'm curious, man, how they think that over 200,000, like TNA is allegedly not even getting 200,000 viewers on some of these shows, but these guys are doing over 200,000 in the 50 plus. Now, like, remember 25 to 54 and 35 to 64, there's some overlap. So it doesn't mean 72,000 plus 138,000 plus 204, right? But the 50 plus 204, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, how the fuck are they doing that? It has to be on at like nursing homes or something. And maybe the play is like, we're trying to get to the older fans because they will look and be like, oh, my grandpa used to watch this or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But we will ring the bell for them, and we'll just give them a bruv. We're going to give today, it's a bruv or a be gone. Okay? So we give them a solid bruv for NWA Power on Comet. And then we move along here and we talk about TNA a little bit. So TNA Impact last Thursday scored its lowest 18 to 49 rating so far on AMC, while the overall audience was up from the prior week. So this is some Nielsen fuckery if I've ever seen it. So Impact averaged 195K viewers, up 10% from the prior week with a .02 in the key demo, down 34%. Impact faced tough competition from Game 6 of the NBA Western Conference Finals on NBC. It was tied for 90. So their overall fucking viewership is getting smoked by just the 50 plus when it comes to NWA, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I just don't know about that. But with that being said, we're going to give that a be gone. Okay? TNA, you got to step your shit up. So we move along here, and the ratings wars are heating up, ladies and gentlemen. And we go on over to AEW now. We'll do it in order of significance, I guess. So tickets sold for Collision last week. Just Collision. They were set up for 2,400. Or pardon me, they were set up for 2,800. They sold, or distributed rather, 2,400. So pretty goddamn good for just a Collision. Okay, not bad at all. But again, they're taking victory laps, going, we run New York and shit, and it's like, well, look what happens when MJF doesn't sell you a fucking house and shit. It's embarrassing. Okay. It really is. But I give it a bruv because that is like a solid attendance, I guess, for just a Collision, you know? And then we have ratings here. So Dynamite saw a big ratings increase last Wednesday's post Double or Nothing episode, with the show doing its best numbers since April. Dynamite averaged 704K viewers, up 15% from the prior week, with a 0.15 in the key demo, up 36% per Programming Insider. As always, these numbers do not include the HBO Max simulcast. Dynamite finished number 3 on cable behind the NHL Conference Finals and the Valley on Bravo. Dynamite did not have competition from the NBA that night. So again, no competition from the NBA. And then they were actually number 3. And it's not just, well, Fox knows. And that's like 7 shows, right? So year over year, Dynamite was up 11%, but the key demo was down 6%. Last year's numbers were ranked using the old Nielsen panel-only system. That doesn't really matter. I'm going to give this a bruv. They popped a rating. Now, it wasn't that good of a show. Tonight was not that good of a show. So just being honest. So I just don't, at least just watching the matches and shit, not that there's anything too hard to understand. I mean, the promo, Mark Briscoe's promo was good. Monet, I mean, that's cool, her coming back and shit. Kevin Knight, we've seen this. He joined the Callis family. Okay. So did fucking 100 other guys. So I don't think this week will do as good as this last week, but if it does better, then I'll shut the fuck up. But I think, like, weren't the Spurs playing and shit? So I don't know. We will give that a bruv, and we'll see what happens this next week. So we move along here. And Collision last Wednesday did 498,000 viewers, a 0.08 in the key demo. So not bad for Collision. Again, we will give this one a bruv. Right? Ratings aren't too bad, but again, like years ago, we would be like, this is shit ratings for Dynamite, or Collision, but they're doing the damn thing. So again, this aired right after Dynamite. Ooh, oh yeah, that was the one that aired right after Dynamite. So it was actually 500. No, under. Okay, so you popped a number 704K, and it's a flex. But then I retract that, bruv, and I'm giving it a B. Because you mean to tell me under 500K was the average? That's how many people just quit watching for your third hour? How bad of a wrestling show does your audience have to be trained to think that's going to be for that many people to fall off on a Wednesday night? Under 500,000, over 200,000. We're like, fuck this. Right? So I actually give that a B. Shout out Raj Giri for making that correction there. And so Collision on Saturday night averaged 360K viewers. So there you go. That's their normal time. It's 360K. Boo. With a 0.05 in the key demo. The numbers were a little below average of what the show usually does in that time slot. The show faced really tough competition with Game 7 of the Western Finals, as well as the AAA PLE. 360 going up against those two things, that's not so bad. But it is bad. I'm giving it a B gone, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Tone is like he's been doing this for a while, but he like does shit that you kind of got to see for Dynamite to make sense. I mean, in front of that many people, that's pretty bad. You might as well just do a third hour after Dynamite every week and just call it Collision. And just fuck around, stop doing this, stop even airing this show on Saturday. But it is what it is, man. So I'm going to give that one a B gone. Now, let's talk about WWE a little bit. And so NXT viewership was up from recent weeks. However, the 18 to 49 rating was the lowest in show history. Ooh, the show faced tough competition from NBA, NHL as well. NXT averaged 544, which was up 5% with a 0.05. Dude, TNA does like a 0.03 and shit. Year over year, NXT was down 16% in total viewers, and the key demo was down 64%. That's fucking terrible. That's terrible. Now, NXT is truly in a rebuilding phase. Do you know how you get everyone hype? You bring in some fucking Noah guys, or you do this Japan expansion, get everyone fucking hot and bothered for it the way they were for AAA. You do a Worlds Collide where it's TNA versus Noah versus AAA versus NXT. You do some invasion shit. You cook it up, you get it all heated up, baby. That's what the fuck you do. And then you establish a new LWO faction in AAA, but they go all over the place. And it's all the Latino wrestlers who are like, man, fuck all these feds. We're the Latino world order. And you play the LWO like the I've been fantasy mark booking that forever, but whatever. Ray Phoenix is an over babyface right now, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But these are fucking woof. These are terrible. These are terrible ratings, okay? For NXT, but they are in a rebuild phase. Like objectively, that's what they had. They got all of their guys were pulled up, other than some of the women. But again, like how long is Kalani Jordan gonna be? Like you need to call her up too and shit. So I don't know, man. You're doing close to TNA in the key demo. So SmackDown ratings last Friday were up from the prior week, with the show scoring its best 18-49 ratings since the post-WrestleMania episode. SmackDown averaged 1.258 million viewers, up 6% from the prior week, with a 0.29 in the key demo, up 26%. SmackDown was number 2 on cable in primetime in the key demo, behind the NHL Conference Finals on ESPN. It was number 4 in the demo on all of TV, behind the NBA Conference Finals, Sheriff County on CBS, and the NHL Finals. Year-over-year, SmackDown was down 9%, while the 18-49 was down 12%. Last year's numbers were ranked using the old Nielsen, blah, blah, blah. So again, I think people were saying, like, was it this SmackDown or this? Is there another SmackDown? Yeah, I got another SmackDown rating. So let's jump over to this SmackDown rating over here. So SmackDown last Friday night, and this was posted yesterday. Shout out at the Rajgiri, by the way. Last Friday night scored its lowest audience on USA since January. The show was taped earlier in the day and aired live internationally on Netflix. SmackDown averaged 1.1, we'll round high, million viewers, down 13%, with a 2.3 in the key demo, down 21%. So here's the thing. I'm going to give a bruv to the ratings before, because that's tough competition for them to do, like, even though it's their lowest key demo and shit. But here's the thing. This one, even though it aired early and stuff, I'm going to give it a Begone. I'm going to give it a Begone. I'm just going to be fair. I'm giving both of these. I packaged the SmackDown ratings together. They get both. It's like a fence it and fill here, 50-50 split on what I rate this, because it's not like you have some excuses. Okay, that's tough competition, and you had the fucking, this aired early because they're in Italy or whatever, and it was on Netflix and stuff. So you got to kind of, like, how many watched it on Netflix? You got to kind of factor that in. Either way, the show ranked 4 for the night in cable, so the same. SmackDown tends to do lower numbers for their taped international shows. The other 2 taped international episodes this year in January both averaged under 1 million. Holy fuck, that's bad. But again, it's streaming. It's people looking at social media. And again, the weather's getting nice. The playoffs are on. People are just checking WWE out more on socials and stuff. And probably lots of wrestling at this current time. So Triple H posted this. This is the site of 12,614 excited WWE fans in Turin, Italy, for WWE Clash last night. Nothing is better than a sold-out and loud crowd. We do it all again tonight. Grazie mille, Italy. Play the game. Luigi Primo, play the game. So yeah, they were packed. They had almost 13,000 people. One of the nuttiest crowds of all time. Raw, speaking of low numbers. So, for Clash in Italy, we give it a rub for the attendance. I'm sure what they drew and all of that stuff. For WWE Raw, it scored its lowest number of views on Netflix since January for last Monday's episode, which was the 525 episode. While the hours viewed stayed even with the prior week, the show was head-to-head with Game 4, the Knicks Cavs, and the NHL Conference Finals. The show scored... Wait, Knicks Cavs Western Finals? That'd be the Eastern Finals, no? Am I wrong? I don't know. Right? He just, whatever. It's all good. Typo. The show scored 2.5 million views globally for the week per Netflix data, down 4%, 4.6 million hours viewed even. Show ranked 7 in the US on Netflix, down from 5, and 5 globally, up from 7. So it's like, what the fuck? But year over year, the views were down 7 and the total hours were down 5. So I'm going to give that one a be gone.
Be gone.
And Raw's been good. I didn't review Raw, did I? Yeah, it's been storming, power outages and shit. And I was really busy on Monday. And so I didn't get a chance to even watch Raw until way later the next day. When the power was going out and shit. It was that night. But I did see clips and stuff, but it was a fiery crowd. Raw's been good. SmackDown's just been so blah. And Raw's been pretty good. AAA, I think, is my favorite wrestling show right now. Just overall. I'm curious what they do on Fox and stuff. But speaking of curiosity killed the cat. No, I don't even. I have nothing. I just am saying that but it was announced that NXT and Forbidden Door were going head to head. And then all of this was announced yesterday that on Sunday, June 28, 2026, and guys, if I'm in town, I will marathon stream all of this shit front to back. And it is the epitome of ratings wars. Because, guys, on June 28th, 2026, if your boy Phil is in town, I will marathon stream this whole thing with all 3 of them on. TNA Slammiversary at 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay? NXT's The Great American Bash at 7 Eastern. So, obviously, Slammiversary will be done before the Great American, right as the Great American Bash starts. And then Forbidden Door at 8 p.m. Eastern, going head-to-head in a way, because you know that the 0 hour will start at 7 as well. And then obviously Forbidden Door will go until fucking they're doing another show 8 Eastern, man. It's going to go to 1 Eastern. Okay. And we're going to fucking watch the whole thing. We're going to marathon stream the whole thing. Now, that shit starts early as fuck for me. Thank God the Eastern times are 2 hours ahead for me personally, but and then I'm sure TNA will have a pre-show for an hour. So I'll jump on for the pre-show. We'll do the whole fucking thing. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't fucking do it. You guys got to show me love. You got to show me support. You got to fucking share this shit around. You know what I mean? And it's going to be fucking awesome that there's this much wrestling head to head. TNA, NXT, and again, they're owning the day and shit. But what they're doing here, TNA backing down from everybody, as they've done, because they're cucks. No, but for real, they just said we're going to back down from AEW and everything. Now, Dave Meltzer was already fucking coping and was like, oh, well, what did he say? Well, this is different than last year where WWE was taught a lesson. He reiterated his fucking stupid, dumb diarrhea of the brain bullshit of, well, last year they were taught a lesson. They learned their lesson. Boy, did they learn their lesson. And now Dave's going, it's different from last time when they were taught a lesson to go head to head. And it's like, what lesson were they taught? Who gives a fuck, man? All in. And no one was talking about that. No one cared about Hangman and fucking Jon Moxley. Everyone was talking about Goldberg and how he was crying about his retirement speech. Then it went super viral on YouTube. And they did that intentionally. They knew what they were doing. Okay. And that's all anyone was talking about. And fucking nobody cared about All In, not even Tone. He had Hangman drop the title a fucking month or 2 later. So none of that shit even mattered, bro. And look at what Mox is doing now. Right? So I'm excited for this Slammiversary. All the titles are on the line. Great American Bash, I mean, it is what it is. It's a branded NXT type PLE, and I mean, they've delivered in the past. Forbidden Door, they're doing low ticket sales and stuff, and there's not a lot of interest. And we already know Mercedes back in time for this, so she can quickly have a match with a Joshi and then fucking MJ. And it's not, and the thing with the Forbidden Door too is they're promoting it as CMLL New Japan Stardom, right? So I don't know, maybe MJF will fight somebody from Nuge or CML. It'll just be like him versus Mystico again or some bullshit. Or maybe they just do him and Mark Briscoe in like a hardcore match or something. But I fear they'll just do that on TV. But this will be fucking epic. That you have 3 shows. And basically AEW is going to do the marathon sprint. And yeah, Dave's coping. I can't wait for him to get mad about all of this stuff and sit there and seethe and talk about how AEW blew everyone out of the water. And he's going to say the pay-per-view buys were up. He's going to make up some bullshit about, well, they're not as good as the last show, but they're up he'll compare to another show. And then we'll go and look and see that the trends for that other show were like way higher than this Forbidden Door and shit. I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Ratings Wars. So guys, I have a segment for you guys, and we debuted a new segment on PWT, I think last week or whatever, and it is my new favorite segment. I think it's my all-time favorite segment, as a matter of fact. And you know, there's a folder called the Sicko folder, the Sicko segment. And I decided last week, you know, some of these dirt sheet guys, they really deserve their own folder. I mean, they keep failing. They keep being wrong about shit. All of them. A bunch of them are cringe ball kissers. Yes, does Bixenspan or Ibou qualify as a sicko? Absolutely. Right? But the dirt sheet guys deserve their own shit because they get in fights where it's like, okay, you have like Matt Keane arguing with Bubba Ray Dudley. And it's like, well, that's got to go in the dirt sheet folder because Matt Keane thinks he knows shit about wrestling and he knows some wrestlers and Busted Open. You know, they report. I mean, they give their opinion, but the same way I report on fucking wrestling stuff, they do too. So I get that needs its own folder. And so we started a new segment here at PWT. It's my all-time favorite segment, and it is called Dirt Sheet Fails. So today's Dirt Sheet Fails, we are focusing on one of the biggest, perhaps the all-time biggest clown in the IWC and in the Dirt Sheet community. And his name is Ibou of Self Made. And now his name's Ibou. I call him Ibou because he's always holding the L. And he is a guy who worked for Fightful until he got caught making shit up about wrestlers, about Britt Baker and stuff like this. And he's friends with MJF, and MJF will do a call-in and a run-in on his shit. And he was in his paid Discord talking shit with all of his friends about stuff MJF was telling him and making up rumors about Britt Baker and all of these things. And he got it incredibly felted to the point that he got booted off of fucking Sean Ross Sapp's shit, which, like, come on, man. You got to be a real big chuckle fuck to get booted off of like Fightful's shit or whatever, you know? And so this meme's gone around. A lot of people share this. 300 likes on the shit. When you see this face pop up in your feed, get ready to read the absolute dumbest, saltiest, brain dead takes you've ever read in your entire life. So he's one of my original fools, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of my OG fools here at PWT. And I've been roasting bacon his ass longer than anybody in the history of prehistorically. And, you know, we've covered in the past, like Ibou eating cereal out of a paper bowl, like with milk in it, dude, in a paper bowl. And it's like, bro, it's going to drip through the it's going to get soggy and drip, right? And he's got a metal spoon eating cereal with milk out of a paper bowl. And one time he was making pancakes and they were like paper thin, like sheets. They were like rice paper thin and they were over bubbling. And he posted a picture of it and he's like, why are my fucking pancakes bubbling over? Can anyone tell me why my pancakes are bubbling? And then infamously, he goes to like dap up Tony Khan. Tony just walks right past him and goes to other people. We've covered all of these videos, right? And all of these posts and situations with Ibou. He once told everybody, all of these wrestling fans, or not, I guess, in the IWC, he tweeted this out, is what I'm trying to say. That you have, but it's like a section of the wrestling fans he was talking to, right? Of the IWC, he was talking to just WWE fans, and he was like, if you like the product, you have internalized racism that you need to deal with, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, he has Tyrese Halliburton on his fucking show, who's like, nah, I only fuck with WWE and stuff like that. You guys remember that when Halliburton felt at him and he was like, yeah, I don't fuck with that AEW stuff. Right? And it's like, okay, does Halliburton have internalized racism and shit? Like, shut the fuck up. You just hear these buzzwords, you're low IQ, and you think that you fucking can just say shit like this in the wrestling space and not come across like a complete dipshit. And so here's a bunch of Ibou stuff from the last like few months, right? So Ibou had this to say recently. He goes, I'd let Levesque go. There's no higher that he can take this roster with his vision of pro wrestling. And then he responds underneath, or move him to a different role. Get a new lead voice in there with never favorites and new ideas. Ibou, shut the fuck up. How about that? How about you don't have any good ideas and nobody is looking to get Triple H out of the way who works there. They're all very pleased with the work he's done. And you don't know what you're talking about. So Ibou posts this again when Io Sky like retired or like did her hugging segment or whatever on Raw, right? Ibou posts this. Io is a grown woman in her mid-30s. This is a major reason why I hate her portrayal in the later months of the Rio team. Why is she being carried and held like a baby and treated like a child? Because she weighs 110 pounds, you dumb motherfucker. Because she's a little Asian girl and Rhea is this giant woman, and who gives a fuck about how girls fucking, they all hold hands and go to the bathroom together too. And they're grown women. You fucking got a problem with that? Weirdo? What's your weirdo problem with women? Huh? First Britt Baker, now Io's a grown woman in her mid-30s. Okay. And your IQ is in the mid-30s. So why don't you shut the fuck up? Anyways, happy birthday to the best women's wrestler in the company. Hope the Asuka match rocks. So it's her birthday, and I'm going to say, why is she being carried around like a baby and shit? But meanwhile, if Jim Cornette says, hey, or Gail Kim says, hey, Rio looks like a little schoolgirl, you all get triggered and cry about it and fucking... It's just stupid.
Shut up, bitch.
People are tired of these like dirt sheet guys. Like, no, a couple wrestlers talk to you. You don't know better than everyone. You don't have good opinions on wrestling because you have a couple sources. Right? And how is that how you wish someone a happy birthday? So Best for Business 15 says, Ibou being weird and condescending about a woman enjoying herself? Shocker. Can't imagine seeing a happy birthday post for a woman's wrestler and thinking you need to get off your weird, actually borderline incel take. Yeah, it's giving very incel, very closeted type shit. Talk about how she feels and acts, but we know how he is by now. Yeah, man. Ibou's very zesty. And so Ibou had this to say. WrestleMania week, talking about GCW. And again, he glazes Dave Meltzer. This guy studies Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer looks at Ibou's retweets and shit and fucking responds to people who respond to Ibou. He responds to Ibou. Ibou goes under Dave's shit and glazes him all the time. And Elbu goes, good on GCW for shooting some angles that break through onto the TL and telling some stories ahead of their big show. Oh, so now it's the storytelling and the stuff that breaks through because it's compelling and the shit that Triple H has been doing and the reason they're able to fucking, okay, so that's better than just people doing matches. Got it. I think the era of selling an indie show off of dream match graphics are probably done. Nope. Wrong. They did a storyline fucking angle for WrestleMania week, and now have you heard any others that are popping off? Nope. Dakota Kai shows up and everyone goes, oh my God, she's an HOG again. You're wrong again. So you got to get him in the old way. Oh, so the old way's better? So getting people to pop for beads and shit is better. Okay, got it. You know, like, all right. So doing the old way of getting people invested in like the characters and the stories and shit, like WWE's been doing, and not the new way of super fights and super matches. Oh, okay, got it. Glad that applies when you're trying to glaze GCW because Dave put over a fucking match that a fucking J-Brone and Joey Janela had with a literal child. Fuck. So look at this shit. Tony Khan, speaking of Tone. Tone goes, AEW is where the best wrestle. Elbu goes, please never drift away from being a professional wrestling promotion. I promise you that we as fans still like that kind of thing and are willing to support it with money. Then why are the tickets cheaper?
Put me out of my misery!
Why are the tickets cheaper, buddy? Why is that what they have to promote? Why is every fucking MJF and all these wrestlers begging for casuals to watch the shit again? Please never stray away from being a wrestling promotion. What? Where the fuck did he ever say he was going to do that? And again, we're going to support it with money, okay? The tickets are cheaper and you're drawing 2K people, so maybe try something different there, son. So here's Elbu again. So Ludwig Kaiser, he gets fucking arrested. Okay? And it's before the Mask vs. Mask. And here's Elbu's elementary level shitty take of what they should do. Triple A should shoot an angle and say Kaiser ran into Gable somewhere and they got into it, leading to the arrest. Why? You don't, like, buddy. Ludwig's under a mask. The gimmick is he's El Grande. He's not Ludwig Kaiser. So Ludwig Kaiser got arrested. So in kayfabe, that wouldn't make sense. Now you can sit there and go, yeah, but we're not children. But here's the thing.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
The reason that shit worked is because they allowed us, they did their gimmicks so well, the Mask versus Mask, they suspended our disbelief. Okay? So, no, that doesn't make sense because people would look it up and it would be Ludwig Kaiser. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of people who don't know that Ludwig Kaiser is out of the 1.3 million who watched that shit. Not everyone knew that who Ludwig Kaiser maybe even is because he hasn't been on TV in forever and he's fucking been El Grande, bro. So, like, again, you're just so dumb. Your takes are terrible. This would be a complete fucking terrible thing to do. Would have killed their fucking heat. Let them handle it, buddy. Because you have the worst ideas and you don't even understand. And not to be an elitist, pompous fuck, but like just on a surface level, the whole thing is like, well, we know who they are, but like like if you're a hardcore mark, you know who the fuck they are. But the whole thing is Mask versus Mask, and then Gable did the tradition of doxing himself. Essentially, we were joking about that. He doxed himself at the end. And that's tradition, right? When you unveil the mask. In Lucha Libre, Ludwig hasn't done that, right? So the story was not Masked El Grande, it was with his wife. It was Ludwig in fucking Florida. Got into it with an old man, right? So that's what it was, buddy. So I know you're dumb and you don't even like understand why the thing worked, but this is just the worst idea.
Stupid idiot.
Okay? So we move along here. And so here's Elbu. And Triplehausen posts this. He says, saying Raw is good tonight because of AEW is on brand. And again, Elbu goes, very few things funnier than the post AEW pay-per-view Smark Bait Raw. So Raw does a good episode. It comes after an AEW pay-per-view. This guy has WWE derangement syndrome. WDS. And he fucking goes, it's a Smark Bait Raw. No. They didn't do a Smark Bait Raw after this AEW pay-per-view. Shut the fuck up. Now, after AEW does pay-per-views on Sundays, and whenever it's their weekend, it's their turn. If WWE doesn't run head-to-head on the fucking following Raw, do they try and do shit to blow everyone away and steal the headline? Yes. But it's not Smark Bait. Okay? What the fuck? Like, okay, it's the same guys featured every week. Oh, but they did a Canadian Destroyer. Like, what makes it Smark Bait? It's the same show all the time. You guys just don't want to admit it is what it is. So, Elbu had this to say back in January. He says, WWF's answer wasn't Sean or Brett, and it ended up being Steve Austin. This weekend, the Tokyo Dome chose Gabe Kidd. New Japan pointed them in other directions throughout the two shows, but they chose Gabe. Omega Kid had a couple Brett Austin parallels, some of which obvious, but the blah, blah, blah. Think about what Gabe Kidd's doing right now. Okay, think about what he's doing right now. He's nothing. He's a shell of what he fucking was. As far as like creatively and the hype that was surrounding him, and he's just doing skinhead shit with the Bumbleclot clan and fucking getting beat up. Or I guess he's in the Dogs. He's getting beat up by Darby Allin, bro. And this guy said this, AEW fans realizing in the end and wrestling fans realizing in the end, Jack Perry is AEW's next Bryan Danielson. And it will happen organically. No need to rush him either. He's 28, same age as Bryan when he first entered the Fed, and Bryan got over 5 years later. This is the same shit. Brett, yeah, it's Gabe Kidd was like fucking Stone Cold and Bret Hart, man. Nope. And Perry's not Danielson, and fucking Wheeler's not Stone Cold, and Garcia's not The Rock. You guys always do this, and it always fucks AEW up because they can never get ahead. Okay? They can never live up to the hype that you guys are trying to give them. And they never will. So we move along. So Elbu had a tweet blaming WWE cuts. Or I guess just bringing up fucking Tony Khan when it comes to the WWE cuts. So Elbu goes, WWE's greed and ineptitude is annoyingly putting Tony Khan in a position where he has to save some of the people getting cut. This is what this fucking goofball clown thinks about you wrestlers. That it's up to fucking Papa Tone or fucking Daddy Triple H to save you guys. From what? Save them from what? He ain't been signing all the... He signed up Ciampa. Cool. What is Ciampa? A mid-lower guy? He just has longer matches? Okay. Same fucking shit he was doing before. He just had a long banger with Carmelo before he fucking left. Watching this Dynamite, there's already a giant blob of guys and factions fighting and doing stuff with very little differentiation, creative flair, or much standing out outside of the main event scene, and I dread the prospects of upwards 10 people being added to that mix. Tone signed. Stupid idiot! And this is what I mean. Like, he's just up here confidently going, oh, yeah, 10 people are getting signed up. Tone has to save 10 people.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
What? There's already just a lot of people on these shows, too many, all presented around the same level. Not enough of them are stars. It's just content with guys. It would be ideal if TNA was more viable or if the Japanese promotions had money. Why doesn't New Japan have money? Have you ever thought about that, Elbu? Why don't you tell Tone to give them some of his money? If TNA was more viable, Nick Nemeth is there. Nick Nemeth clears your whole AEW roster. Name-wise, if Dolph Ziggler came back, his ability in the ring, the shit he's done, what the fuck are you talking about? It's crazy, man. It's just craziness. Tony Khan is the savior. Like, yeah, is he being critical of Dynamite? Yeah. But what is he saying? Because WWE Dynamite's been lackluster because Tone's got to sign up 10 guys now. He didn't. This is just what AEW is. Everybody's a mid-card guy. So again, you have me blocked, Elbu, but Phil Marks is right again. You agree with me. Everybody's just mid. Everybody's fucking mid, and they're all presented as mid-card guys. And it's always going to be that way. So now Elbu got into some fucking controversy. Right? And what is this? So Baku, so this account was suspended, and it's called Busaiku Needy. And he goes, the account below is falsely accusing me of coordinating an attack campaign alongside other media members and wrestling accounts. It is a complete fabrication. This screenshot is fake as hell. Someone made a fake Discord and fake account. Oh, don't tell Dave Meltzer. He might get a spreadsheet from it. Account to make fake messages. Tell them if this is real to screen record them. Click on this account and proving it's me. We do not and never had a channel called Fortune 4 and more. Every single member of our Discord has a colored username. Whoa, colored? That's racist, buddy. Where's my...
You are racist.
Just joking. Username, every single one. But in this SS, the name is white for some reason. My name on Discord is not and never has been Ibou of Self Made. Any member of our community can vouch for that. This NJPW account, getting felted by Nuge fans, man, holy shit, is obsessed with me and my friends, and I'd like for him to leave me alone. I do not think about him, but he obviously posts about me. Again, he will not prove that this is my account because he cannot. He can only create fake screenshots. I've only become aware of this because it was brought to my attention by my peers in the space. If you're going to attack me, please at least base it under anything I've actually said. Oh, don't worry, buddy. Oh, don't worry, Elbu. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing already. To make fake accounts in an attempt to frame me is sad and unfortunate. Yeah, that's called gay ops. That's fucking lame as shit. Nobody should buy into this. This person deeply needs help, and I pray he gets it and leaves me alone. Yeah, that is fucked, like, honestly. But this guy goes, LMAO, Ibou and his good friend MJF, totally pathetic for this, not gonna lie. Shout out to the person in Elbu's circle who sent me this, by the way. Even they're getting tired of him. And so, yeah, it's just a fake screen grab. So basically, Max is pissed off at me for the NJPW situation. I asked Max to tweet at him, thinking the guy would delete his account in embarrassment. Now that dork bringing up Max association with Rovert and 4chan. I don't even think this is how Elbu, Testin Albert, Elbu fucking talks. But bringing up Rovert and 4chan, yeah, that Rovert guy is cooked in the fucking brain, okay? That guy no-sold the tweet. Max asked Corey and Sean to retweet it, even had his guy at ringside write an article about it, but that account's still there. We need a plan to deal with this NJPW guy. He knows too much about our guys. That's just not even how Elbu talks. Okay? I'm going to vouch for him on this one. So big back. Big back. I don't get why he looked up big back. But yeah, this guy goes, hope this helps. So I think they community noted it. What I got to do with it? Dog, just a completely fake story with a fake account. We've never spoken about this. Yeah, but here's the problem, right? So your whole shtick is like, I don't know, man. Like, I say outlandish shit, but I'm being fucking like, We're doing a show over here. You know what I mean? I'm being silly and shit. So somebody's like, he said this silly shit. It's like, yeah, either I did and I was joking, so who cares? Or I just didn't, but you're whatever, you know? Like I say silly shit all the time. So it's not like fucking I'm not even a real guy, okay? With Ibou, it's like, buddy, you have been fucking destroyed online before for like making shit up, and everybody knows MJF like jumps on your calls and shit. So what's gonna happen? Like the problem is like we know MJ, you were just parroting shit MJF said to you. And he's jumped on your Discord calls and stuff. Like we know all that shit you were saying was stuff you heard from MJF because it all involved him and like Rhodes and Punk and shit. So where else would you know this stuff, you know? If it's true and if it was shit you made up about Britt Baker. And the thing with Ibou saying that shit about Britt Baker, he's not the first guy to say that she was fucking around on Adam Cole and there's rumors they had an open relationship, whatever. I don't even want to speculate on it. Doesn't matter. But the fact is he's like hearing that shit and regurgitating it. And you got your profile picture. His banner is him chilling with Daniel Garcia and fucking MJF's your buddy guy. So it's like, and then you got caught making shit up. And if that wasn't the truth, and here's the thing, I've seen DMs, me, Phil Marks, I've seen DMs between Ibou and an AEW wrestler personally. I've seen where he would not accept accountability for that shit. And they just wanted him to apologize, and he was flip-flopping and flying around, and he is a fucking dumbass in DMs as well. And I wish I could fucking show them to the world. I wouldn't do that. But I've seen them with my own eyes. No, from the fucking wrestler, not from fucking no fake Discord people making fake accounts, Ibou. I've seen that shit, buddy. And how you were trying to just skirt around all that. So when you do that, I don't fucking know, man. People are going to be like, look, he made some shit up and MJF is whatever. But that is lame to do. But like, yeah, unfortunately, then you got to come out with a press release like this. You know? I would just be like, yeah, it's fake. Whatever. So Switchblade goes, so these guys sit around in Discords making plans to deal with people who know too much about their guys. I wonder if this includes harassment campaigns, right? And so Switchblade was like, oh shit, but then he corrected because Switchblade always does that. And he goes, Ibou claims that this is a fake screenshot. And then this guy goes, it's because it's you fucking moron. So what the fuck? Like, why would it be Switchblade? Switchblade's not doing lame ass shit like that. You know? And that's for goddamn sure. To start harassment campaigns. But it's hard too when, like, again, you fucking deal with SAP and stuff, and he's been accused of the same fucking thing, you know? People at Fightful have fucking had to publicly apologize for, like, falsely doxing the wrong fucking people and stuff. So, or person or whatever. And they were saying that that person that happened to, that they were leading a fucking campaign, like a hate campaign or whatever, right? So it's just everybody throwing hate campaigns against each other in this sicko fucking world that I choose not to partake in. But Ibou, you're a goddamn dumbass. You're one of my original fools. You always will be. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was dirt.
Epic fail. Failure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been rocking out for like 3.5 hours. I appreciate you all. Round of applause to the PWT explosions for you guys. Come on now, Eric, for you guys. And round of applause for the PWT universe. Guys, tune in tomorrow for Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. It is going to be a good time. It will be a fun time. And we'll go over some Ricky Dozan bracelet action, and we will just make fun of Dave for some of the stuff that we didn't quite get to the last week or so. We got a lot of content in there. And hopefully he doesn't have a complete and utter meltdown, or hopefully he does, rather. But I'm trying to catch up on some of this shit. You know what I mean? And we will get into that tomorrow. I have been Phil S. Marks. I appreciate you all for being here this evening. I will see you guys tomorrow. And Sicko Saturday is also Saturday. Don't forget.
You are a naive, brainless, pathetic, idiotic, clueless, dumbass Mark.
God bless you all. God bless the PWT universe. See you guys next time.
Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guys, Tony Khan, is true. Triple cup, best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup, living legend of the fight. Just a call away from making it right. Never see a back card, no way. Got the whole roster locked in for the day. A Crimson Tower of modern art. Triple cup. Triple cup. Every booking is golden, you see. Perfect cards crafted for you and me. Yeah, the best guys, Tony Khan, is true. Triple cup. Best damn booker in the land. 3 red cups stacked up, always in command. Triple cup.